Well, we have a good evening. Akwaba Jasu Jumedi. So we're live on OK 101.7 FM. So any your partner radio station, we got you FM pick live or cooking to me or live or high live radio. Any what live so or NASPA radio, UK Abronye memo, or live, or Kings Jersey radio, or New Jersey, any what live so Adam for Media or France, any Belgium. If I'm a Vim Lady. Good evening. Akwaba Sumao. Good evening, come out. So Ghana, Europe, baby. Good evening. My US, Canada. Memema, good afternoon, pa. Yeah, then Yako passes what here. So, yete enkom. So all the way from Ship House, Abeka Junction, mini production team, Mr. Kujo Hansen, Ansa, DOP, Dubedi, Akuya, Mamunina, good evening and welcome. Because Ghana, who ye, Ghana, Ghana, who ye, yo, ain't in the air, Kasan, and Kawada. It be crank wada because you really don't have to stay up. I'll be Ghana and say, but issues be brave. What me was here can was this Chief Justice issue, yeah. Asam non ko ekwa na asaba. That case of the precedent that we have set. Ebetwaso. We will look at Abronye. They are finally court na granting bail. I'm sure that judge, you know. You see, and judge na semya me ya. Because there's no evidence until we cannot speculate. Say, said them confoy na mahama. Bibi anyone my church mahama na control judge, you know. But what we say the way I hear your constitution, no your system, no your structures now. Judges ne wo lower court no. The promotion and a cost rule. Do Supreme Court there. And na acquire to say your first a court of appeal. Now we call Supreme Court. And no nomination and you denominate too. But lower court a promotion you promote your mo. Until there's no evidence that Mahama afraid judge say ma Abronye bail and that's a bisa. But I think that sometimes can be so judges still be so doable. Omu doable. Suppose no pay. Say promotion a judge chronicle because I'm sure the entire affair the judge no. On one who say fire never no so no doson. Even including NDC members. Who are saying say almost judgment na judge na de maye na judge na ntwa ye na minim say judge no how can you be minim the judge na ope because school ade ba ko ye kire study sizes Latin terminology I say judges before be taking decision no and in taking their decision and our decisions are judges is taking no yeah enye law no nko na judges say they look at other things so enye law no nko a lawyer about that your potican, I can't cut you use me then no potican. And your law no quo potican. I said that justice so kind the letter of the law no quo no eduma. They look at other circumstances. One way ya that no abakoko pie judge in any one here. Say okay, the arm robbery, not say how week no robbery cases be bracia. Sometimes they can influence the judge in the judgment or the bema. One that you be staying or bema or maximum sentence because you see, emrana ya no. Emrano man discretion sometimes. Say judge bi wo hono ma. Why you boni no? But asotwe na judge ne de bema on obetimi ama asotwe ketwa. Obetimi ama asotwe kese. Depending on near judges no behwe. Say bi a wonye boni da wo first time offender, fe ne de wa back court. And as a why you boni da wo jail bed a jail na court no wa ba. E likely say what summer back court no nim the judge bema maximum no de ko. Basa wonye boni da na afei na waba court ebi a woye wemfo bi ba na sign bi na abeto na case na rewo and evidence ni na acha se wona waye sa abone no a sometimes that need to me hu mobo nti the me patch say just so waka asem we say the ohwemra ni mu there's always the spirit and the letter of the law but judge we no ankasa o ya Abronye case ni hwe a pressure na eba no so because the judgment here or the man na no ni ruling in denying Abronye bail no be ehun say no judge no enye law no nko na judge ni di adwuma enye law no nko na judge no odi ye adwuma nti na afa no the judge had to come clean so what I say the judge had to come clean because how do you determine say oh yeah Abronye case na say dia empanifo kukuda mo bia ka che say baby a judge uko di e hotro na fe judge no judgment on many na no Idi Amin bi and what has Idi Amin got to do with the Obi and you see Professor Sari very beautifully Professor Sari explained the issue said the judge had only one duty. Bonnie na Abronye aye na ye de na ba court no. Just a misdemeanor. Any nipa wakum, any murder case, any felony, any treason. Tio, when your politics, a law ni ye kan wasem sisi ya no. Enti u person ye law a ubetimi akwa kodunso no wada. U person ye politics na obedi di atema kodunso no ada. But I'm saying say the Professor Asare chire mu no, and he was very apt in the law. Say we a lawyer, a judge, near the case ba wanima. Per dear Martin Pebu case or the court ne chire no. Case be a court be bailable. All offenses are bailable because first no tete emrano nanka obi a year friend saying obi ekum nipa yen shed na case om de call lower court circuit court and not say be om de court district court ketwa no omu ni discussion to om be handle murder case until some de court case him enti enye judge ne be chere to obema the bail and not to the bail obe remand no the case na court case him. But obi ya boni bi ti the treason ya boni a ehu pa wo ga na o criminal law ni ma eno ne boni a ehu pa eno no o money bail because mrane ma o kwan sa but misdemeanor de emra o nyankopon ko na boni bi aye equal but emre mu no boni bi anya equal your boni enye ga na nkwa na wo sa law no ukọ UK ugba America ni nyina the same ye boni aye ketwa ene ye boni aye se ho ne ho and you bonny a serious part say kum nipa. Iti Abronye charges ya mo de charge ni. Me de Abronye onye obi a maka kire mo dada so onye obi a me feeling is because na no ya and no something uncouth language na do. Enti asemo ya make an nyata make for Abronye because I'm not a fan of it. I'm not his fan. I don't like his style. I don't no do. Enti but I'm saying it according to law no any according to say Professor Asare shared that to the saying there was just one particular issue before the judge. My bail. Nipa no se fata so be my bail na. This is a case where Abronye no ankasa na de ne ho ba police. So judge, why who deny nipa ni bail say saying? Nipa no see one of the key reasons I courts take so mo my bail say nipa no ye hwe ni de bia e bewu no. It we cry at the police level cry and also man serve recognizance bail. Because nipa na kasa na buy. And he said the process and let me show you the process. I was saying there's been a lot of false outrage about the usual courts now about Supreme Court decision no all kind about Abronye or America yes or kitchen you know such a rural application the call you know I mean high and can you know to be called so that and he or say there's no clear rational before the court. There were particular issues. I say it is most likely did not go into the merits of the video or the because processor can say that you know one go into the merit of the video because that was not the issue before the court on the day. It's not there. It's the issue before the court, but on that particular day, you know, was about say my bail and now on my bail. Whether nipano or fata bail and now on sem fata bail. Simplicity. Because case in one muna video na Abronye ye kan no. Any attempt odi and there. That was for if or say or you're not guilty or make food trial no ne brebeso no man cause video nim. But preliminary you say yen case no kra no. Yen hwe say nipa no yen fa ni ntumum bro the constitution aka say unless there's inyina so say we say we keep no. This is the case nipa na de no ho bae. And I said a friend Professor Asare can nipa no on when you bonny a serious biasa a misdemeanor. And you bonny according to Mrano a ketwa. And this a bonny ketwa, and just a nipa technical or separate bill. But still, an Mrani decided to me no at the my judge and I said, oh no, and Kwani Obia case never done in national to me my bill. So the discretion is with the a friend saying the judge to grant bail or not to grant bail. But Obia I'm saying NDC era a crack I said, look, or jury judgment no one. I should say because this is a case where Enka was a judge, you know, on my bill. When you have somewhere yet to say, oh, warning quan, Ubeka say, into you don't say, so or can judgment, you know, any in Yinaswa, a friend saying, judge in Jinaswa, can say, oh, ma, Abronye bill now. Or no crown or ye NDC Yanka, Becca and Cabane day. So Becca say, yeah, ma, Abronye bill into any day, no, or no crown on Jin to see a money bill. And that was the point Anna Professor Asare making it say. Se nipa no on obedwane. Abronye betimi adwane efri oman nim. Waye na dwen so obedwane ana. Ene o ka se o money bail anya sa wo mse obeka se o money bail. But se o nipa no an de ne ho bae na che se onye na dwen so obedwane nti no no an de ne ho bae no. It is on one de ne ho abade a ene on what basis are you saying that me money bail? This is the bone of contention anti ama Ghana Bar Association. Ede o manu akotum bi. Ama a first of Sasa so ka say no, judge no had one job. Idi Amin ni ade a ukoka ho asem na. What has Idi Amin got to do with this case? Idi Amin a first ruler. Yes, or a politician there. But Idi Amin first asem we when now to me say judge no took into consideration other issues other than case na da nanim no. Sanya Abronye hu ye na hi well rightfully so me crime ti Abronye ne hu ye mahi. What you say but we judge a unti say yen ayaka no. Enti yen de ye wa bonten no. Ye begina so ye bekasa gbegbegbe ne nya sa na wo judge. Ugina so abekasa. So what you say? Enti na ama Ghana Bar Association ne omo amaka nyina mpanifo de omo no atum bi finally judge na fe de omo court our money bail. Eye 50,000 Ghana cedis bail. And or they amani because pressure about judge na so. Pressure about judge. So like I'm saying, even NDC members were concerned. NDC members, Hamza Suhini, or say even the decision by the judge in the Abronye case, it defies all legal principle and logic. Oh no, yeah, NDC, you know. Oh, because emra, yem fam ranko merry go round. But you see, Abronye nakasano. This is also not to say me and then me video na nkofo be MPP supporters no jubilate chairman massa. This is not a matter of jubilation. This is not a matter of jubilation. I was Abronye mutumi ne kasa. Say politics now omoye no should be politics of decency. I was mutumi ne Abronye kasa. No, you're careful because ni atemdidie no. Duncan Williams here na no ode wasem kosi. So what has Duncan Williams got to do with anything? And I should still be brewa. Oh, customers, Muka me the evidence, but he who alleges must prove. And here, MPP for Nankasa beyond the bill, no, my granty bill, no, Omofa Abronye said them no mutunufo. Seven say, who no dawson. Say, Obi America, and oh, yeah, and also just a cody actually. Me say, MPP for the, I mean, they are the entire I am chapter, me fire more, and say, Momusutu Diano, because more and a moody democracy by. Mona mo force role in section na yan multi-party democracy. Enti wunim de. Enti mo ankasa MPP for mo nchi Abronye hye dem beyond the bail. Na mo ne nkasa wo dem na mo ntunefo. Say gbogbo no doso. Allegations no doso. Because even the Kennedy Japan camp is not happy about this thing. Mo ankasa MPP for you are not happy about this. Enti a wo mo say NDC for na mo ye and omo man crofo didi MPP atema na omo wini. Enti mo so mo pese mo ye bi. But look, politics now and no na judge ne pese o de kono. But you see, judge no broso because that issue no was not before the judge. What I say? But a na judge ne said, look, this politics will be so ya no so come no di atem. To the extent that do judges so obi court no we win case and he threaten judge. Judge, you see, you deal with it. What nonsense? Who want law school about me judge to qualify as a judge, doing qualification. It's because MPP for one and Casabras to somebody Abronye said them no mutunu for say. Mona musi mu pay unity for 2028. You must as well kiss 2028 goodbye. Because mama on the agro. Kakrana mama yana galamse na mu ye de o say mu kwa na mu ye de about galamse issue no. One say even Ibrahim same way MPP for me see even MPP for because anyo mu nyina no mu complain you because the perception has been created say Ibrahim de onye sika odi ba obi adibi kopia no man yare no akohwe no ezi eni akora e bo na ni no atua obi se cancer no atua e fa no hospital by MPP we see the difference between the air and kofo kase. I don't agree with it. There are mukase Achim Sakawa mafia. That's a wrong labeling. Because to me, mefa group of people being too omuding. You see, but there's a perception thing that is going on here. Perception is there. MPP ni Achim for any buy and omu did omu mo bi ebi. Ebi so no omu man kofo. Ebi so no omu shem kofo to say the Ibrahim shem kofo na buy obi enim. Ibrahim so the area on beto abonte am obi ehun. Kofi Adamadi was mehwe no. We the that ben wo say Ibrahim ya kofo bompa ese wonwu. It's MPP for you have to do a proper rebranding of my party. What Abronye is doing it's not MPP style. It is not MPP brand. Murefi amunkobusa JB Darocha ewa samado. Munkobusa ejeni mboaten no. Munkobusa first Darocha money ade omawu. This is not the brand of MPP. NDC amumu na muso na maluzu 2 million no nya NDC. NDC going into 2028 no. They really don't have to bother that much. In fact, Galamsey issue way NDC mom na bebo omo. If they refuse to pay to fight Galamsey, omo mom no benya mfa so tie. One will say MPP time, almost say mom go declare state of emergency. I don't even know why you people were talking because in 2020, NDC na ka say omo bombe legalize Galamsey no. In fact, omo kra omo MPP for achi omo tum no meja omo. And they will go into community mining no mobile mining. Na do 2024 no omo catch us say, "Oh, your state of emergency." Also say MPP mama smart. Mo campaigning was not smart. Why are you people surprised? Nitiane NDC catcher mo say, Mama say, the state of the emergency no is the last resort. It's not emergency. Why are you surprised? Why are you complaining? Mama na catcher mo 2020 say, Oba legalize Galamsey. Enya mama na suma kokubo ahemu ko around and no mo catcher Galamsey for tema. Obi abe didi peche mo tu Galamsey no. It is the 2024. Or catcher say declare state of emergency. Enya mama plan no. Now, so I press conference no catch him so no when you're ready to obey the state of the emergency. I'm more complacent and I'm that or that I was saying who now comprehension problem, who now short memory because who carry the mama catch you 2029 ka obe kai so say obe legalizing no obe mo be atu obe regulating no and they now so den for Australia normal kosua normal babetu. This is exactly what Muhammad said in 2020. 2024 not declare no o piasha o kon. Anything na ni near asemba ya make us Ibrahim dey. Omo the concession man you vote you no won't so be complaining because omo nyina adwene omo so Ibrahim do onya obi abedidi. Nti my mma Ibrahim tu. China ni betu de mma Ibrahim tu no obi abedidi peche. So ho. Enti MPP for mo branding homework no this is where it starts. And then na mo de mo koya ade a some of them say more fight Galamsey man ko fight excavators. Edu baby kwana mo sheshe but people were complaining. But do NDC for so nobody is complaining. Muna was some your homework. You have to do your homework. Why Ibrahim koje concession will be complaining? But momo cover Japan by the whole world, including me. We all fought against you. We all fought against you. Why? Because almost say mudiamu ye didija. Ibrahim do didia obemo bibi. And that is also not to say entisa yen say yen sioni nyina. Not because obi didi obi enye binti yen say. And I say in 30 years time obi enye nsuonum obi enye nsuonum ya ye. We must prioritize the hearing. And that is what we don't do. We must prioritize the hearing, but we must also be ready to put the issues into perspective. And bring the people on board. Say they make more people. Lose 2 million votes. So you have to bring your people. Because the amount I didn't go for Galamsey for Australia or to be the go for Ecoba. Some say for the bush for now. You see, for the enjoy that you. Obia pay the obedi ne. And it's a man, bet me the na Australia about to go, Nibia Bedi obey to a man. It will 2 million votes, no, that's still a problem. And about Miana more apology, no. But the issue is not about apology. Because Baumiana Kase has to start the work from inside. Charity begins at home. I don't even know why Baumia was doing the public apology. Because I was so MPP for one Kasa almost 2 million now on my metrobano. Go to and it's on the cameras. This one region to region, district to district, constituency to go. Power much quietly. Because the Abronye, you know, Canada, Japan call for sale. Mama promote tradition to move. They are upset. They are upset. Canada, Japan call for a drag. Ah, some man call for much. Second, we know about me. We need a campaign. The Mubejiaye. So, my problems in their dorsum. 2 million. Because me say, what the hell? You see, gold board for command. Ministry of Natural Resources 5 million. Go for settings. Now, settings when MPP for them to me and you know. Some say settings are settings where most man to me and I don't know their money. Most settings, I don't know money be. Obanza come on board. What the same government I also didn't go for Australia more mabetu. Me nua banana ya Brefo na ye be fire nkofo say because o kai some year first say Kwaku Boahen wo de me ba moto mobo
after on the 11th, that way on the 7th, you know, and she say, "I go at the mom because on one of the best I got now." Said the bay, you know, no break or my you might check a crate. Most would be not a silly. Now, so that's how the machine to process 1 month. I'll be quite high. Now, so the other bay, now, so do chrome no call for Friday. Eddie.
aha eti Kwaku Boahen no so where is the lie eti na mama press conference no here na mo complain say mama didn't draw mama say any state of the emergency where is the lie 2020 was here obi abedidi peche mbotu and one kan on them o okọ galamsey side mo catch mo say mo nyina mbotu obi abenya bia ye adwuma edi so wa ba na so wo koye state of the emergency now John also be koya so John wa now so nya na mama ye press conference no state of the emergency enye no na priorities eti amoso wada oda mo he osi obetu obi abetu where is the lie eti mu na mu ahu mu homework ye mu na mu ahu mu homework ye eti say gold board ade na ye settings yo enye settings yo eye mu amasem enye settings yo enye settings ya musu you should have done the same settings look Ghana no politics ndi obi aye you must do it better and make sure so man for no omo on faso de on beba na e beba CJ asem no so but mama family banana ya Brefo because I need her on the Abronye issue just a quick one on this because the lawyer na say finally ya ma omo year first a bailer omo you very happy listen to the lawyer answer my
back court back court movie bail application and then my lord so bail application movie I mean wajiatu and wa granted bail amaye or say bail no 50,000 Ghana cedis with one surety no justification they no na bail my lord the ama the client you say I better kwanya the password you better execute bail no ama my client aye akofi me catch report and say if we are done you buy and be seen there no I mean the client on the condition I the assessment I mean say last year no be who saw your but as it stands the BP I mean or the health and the deteriorate until I had to run back to court now me me how I met to court and I mean country court and say after the last time I buy and your master any health and you know only now so now until so yeah the bill is phone and or the two more or guarantee
eti lawyer na ka say Abronye and you see politicians or tactics omo lawyers you are very good debi omo lawyers bo omo say Abronye yare onyare bia politician bia ye chi na so yare o yare da be onyare bia onyare hwe ni nyira ye settings na bia yes onyare hwe o yare for that Abronye na mo ne wo de ni yare politician bia be chi ordinary person ye chi na nka mo nka so yare ye chi no am say o yare for the way mami go na Nana mo good evening akaba. What do we there?
Jamia Domboko, baby Aboko, what's
And then Uncle Pass is so good one day. Who never my Abronye ni akwachi you but now what's no who's because settings politicians here chobia and I know yare that be Abronye na mo nim so yare.
There been a said now or Friday now call court now. Yeah, reminding the 2 weeks now. I mean, he showed all signs said he was feeling very okay. And was even doing when you were here, say we are moving forward.
Go no.
Say you're quite enemy, say that we are not some kito. Tell my own to me, my here. Say baby, I didn't cause say not or 2-3 steps are see. And where you are, na 3 steps see. And at that time, no, one why I was say nipa no one kwa unni. And Tema to me went on a hunger strike. We hear Abronye also went on a hunger strike. Certainly, some hunger strike no generate something. So it might not be sickness, but every man. But one now on I agree with you, and it's not just all about the judgment, because then Afenyo Markin spoke about it, read about the judgment itself will be at TB, Suhini, Honorable Suhini, non-NDC member, has also spoken against the judgment because Judge Becca say, no credit about that is the truth, but it's not in Munamoya lawyer for an Amako law school kaka. In the eyes of the law, no, Obia
We are all equal.
in the eyes of the law, Obia equal, and Assem Kokotwa, and now we emotions now decided so the bad judgment. No, it doesn't come in, but they are also human beings. Don't forget that. What's now Nebia who did judge at them? What? Ebia Duncan William Woody at them or sorry. Judge not them no so or call Duncan William, sorry. What did in the software time, my software na barbage na pulpit so? Abodia, every aka tongues. I'm 72 hours, set tongues na makan muntim. Na the best or Ghana hano. Uye, what's our quatanasi? As for camera so I say and go see a gap. Tongues so no tongues so. Diabo no diabo now ada omonte wonkana. Womunimu wana. Sa judge ne kwa so ni bia obema Duncan Williams
Yeah.
ono na se mo kan na ye dwuma
Yeah.
ono be execute because Nyankopon o free through no aba o Nyankopon uses people and ti se ono ye judge na okọ Duncan Williams Action Chapel now ti said ye yawo ne sofo kom that particular action that was taken you might like him or hate him but take it or leave it a charismatic church Papa, oka omo papa na yoda no pa Duncan Williams.
It's true.
And to say every charismatic church sees Duncan Williams as their father or as their roots, like we see in Kroma as Ghana. Kroma say Kroma na de Ghana ba No mo say ebia Duncan Williams. And omo papa ono na de sa charismatic ni ba ya. So for bia ni obi okwa sorry bia oye Christo ni oye charismatic bia. By the fact that when did this happen, Panatem, Nipa no quite sorry, ni be a charismatic or befa personal.
Yeah.
Or befa personal. Ghana and your Christopher on Kwana or a Muslim for, but all kind majority of the people in Ghana, a Christopher on a also. Yeah, and she said, any mood yet. Because Christianity, how Muslims worship their God and how they treat their God, is not the same as Christians treat our
It's
God.
true.
But Okwaka Christoni now can a charismatic pennimu. Na uwie na nipa ne de yawo bekasa na usan betene trace bekasa we trace kasa the mountain nka onkrofo ne katle wante me de tese me baga wa ya o ye nka mama tre na se nipa ne
Abronye and not did himself.
yeah he came out after the man spoke and also rubbish what the man did and so a Christoni no say oye dadia or the neboso ebe judgment ediama eye Duncan Williams. Oh, and this Abronye's line of work or yes is all against Canada Japan. Because he's
against NDC, against Canada Japan.
It's against Canada Japan and then it started here.
Okay.
That is how the whole thing started. Was talk about Kennedy to us one Abronye say I can't read now best any Matin can sing.
It's our unity, and I remember that one.
Yeah. If and let me tell you, Canada Japan. And he's going on a talk saying, "Say, what's in some question? No. See, our crowd sending a video of Obio dinner 10 man crowd hand because he wants to foster unity.
Yeah,
which is the right way to go. Fostering unity. I mean, at the Canada Japan, we know. Oh, they slow down. He will give you slow down. Or say, and
now okay. Mahama, any NDC Aban were not the target of Abronye. The agenda was Canada, Japan. I say, Mahama Mwafra.
And what the IGP Abe His Excellency John Mahama Abe that was not his target. The target or the yes and the TV say yeah. Because wound to me or wound to me station, maybe or Kokasa or Wa. A bedroom hono. Now wound to me station for no so blacklist na Ebeka. So therefore, then you would have to create your own TV or your own channel to be able to speak against whoever you want to speak to without necessarily going through a known radio station, known to be a political radio station. The problem against Canada Japan. That is what is happening. And I know they didn't want the IGP, and they can say IGP. So feel say in fact, it's not just he labeled IGP as corrupt. Mona moya lawyer for. As soon as them did know in the conversation, Olebuno
One evidence be a man when he said the IGP was corrupt. And
there be evidence be any so evidence because Omoko Akwetiano. What Rem so Omoko Akwetiano NDC meeting be a Omuye be an IGP timbi. Na IGP on who's why NDC communicator and no crowd there no Asem Kekanibi. But if you claim say be a corrupt there, you need to prove it.
exactly.
Oh, you need to prove it. And in some of the found near him, did you found the Canadian himself? Obia did ya campaign. Abagana me on sat him, did you and I came now? What problem are Utumis in the civil? No more common think any assembly anyhow. And now I'm making it looking like, oh, it's okay. Who did you tell me? Yeah, more being Kasa, Uko Kasa, near two, Uko Kasa, near two, yea, and ya the mono. We will not encourage that kind of attitude, say, and twasso. And 2 years and 20 years because of Kasai. Nakasa, no one, if you have no near yes, they agree. But you agree with insult.
Yeah. Say Tina Yemi and Yatio matching that.
It will not make sense
Because we have never insulted anybody. Yeah,
at all. We can speak about issues, insult issues, but not the personality.
Exactly.
For Christ's sake, I'm one of those who felt that Dampari at a point became like a celebrity, like police celebrity. No, I'm not watching for two or Tom Pabuano, yes, no, was no stopping car, no directed traffic, like I felt massa. Oh, yeah, no, I said, only celebrities, no, I mean, so at a point I don't know.
It was attention seeking IGP. All the attention was on him.
Yes,
instead of the service itself. Yeah.
You understand? And with all the things that were coming from the police side, not police before no junior units were complaining about how Dampari was treating them the way more promoting people who are around him and not them, and leaving them with their lives. Now, it became something that the police themselves were complaining about. And I'm one of those who felt that Yehonu, our more press on should come. And let's see, because according to PID, Jumo to me, and Yasem Ketwa. And then I also feel that for IGP to go to the north when there's a fight, to go and see his men and in the line of battle as the leader of the police, not a Drew baby, so Etna Okemwa, there's a problem. But that doesn't warrant the fact that I have a problem with what happened in Ablekuma North. As a journalist, we all know what happened during the elections. Yenim Hawa to trust some course, so I said yes, ballot papers near here. And said there's by-election, that's the electoral commission is asking for protection and you refuse protection. Now the Moani a Kotwaba Ablekuma North. Now how I comes in the near thing, what treat your pain, or your baby or so media, many thing to baby, I met me. But it is not right, sir. You better watch and so butu no. Now we sit politicians will sit and justify it. The police
it was sad.
Couldn't do anything about it. They were right there in the middle of what was happening. Could not arrest anybody.
Na kept to the court. One said no to case no more any basa. Picture say we never saw the pictures of
nothing
the
at all. We just read about a story that
I am so convinced that there was no court proceedings. It was Azan. That press release was Azan.
I support you, my
because you're true. Yeah, when you put in the picture, would you be a picture? But so we are suspects.
Yes,
it's a conviction. Yeah, still I who go for the once I call fine, fiance 500. It is how I come to we are. Let us see, she's worth 500.
All them say
it's just
and to say there were issues with how I come to Krana. How you went about it was not the right way to go. She was recently a minister of state, a member of parliament for crying out loud. And to say that a bit how I come sing position by virtue of the fact that why a minister honorable Dante the position sing because we are called campaign that. And for a foot soldier to rush on her and beat somebody's mother in that manner. And people were justifying her and pepper spray. Mr.
America broach abaya bi osi so obi aye man purpose. In fact, e wo key holder so. Preventive. Say bibi bana bi anko na onam na bibi a.
Now sura na obo ho a no wa use.
Just hwehwe maso say pepper spray enye weapon.
Another police for echo baby a route now omukọ no the water cannon kwa na just water cannon why just ube spray gu so. You just put it there prevention. Say bia omo ba attack mu in a certain way you don't want to use your guns, you want to use it. And there no excuses. So I have issues with the way the current IGP dealt with the elections across Wablekuma and even Akwatia. Akwatia, there are things so yeah, they kaka manage elections very well, better off than what happened Ablekuma now. For if you have your issues with him, you can go about talking about the issue and not actually go insulting them. Because you think, sir, Obiakwa Akwatia, Akokasa minority leader, or may by election, the constituency, would be the anti-ubedi nothing. Because Nipana Yantia Hoka. Now, Abronye, and I say, for fronti, ubedi nothing. No, that's not right. Because you're not a Ghana, or any more happens. So, what by well to me, who power will be.
Yeah, some BBS, why I was always going to say, you won't tell you about yes. Yeah,
I'm going to be a more chromo, BBS, I'll go see, and who are to me, no, actually, the old bay. And that is what, so why are you crying? You just left power. Things you've seen before is what is happening. So why are you shouting? What is the crying about? I think all of us should come together and say this is wrong. Moving forward, we should stop this, go about things this way.
That means me person will explain issues. You also going forward, no. I see any I said this is wrong. Abronye the end wrong.
Another Abronye kasa papa.
Oh, good. Okay.
Kasa Abronye kasa papa kasa fi. Ubetimi atre what dream without necessarily insulting the person. And then social media fear what the picture to one here do what. We media ni now we central near politics once a month. Just a common picture because the person perceives you belong to this particular party. In fact, as for us, today we are NDC, tomorrow we are MPP. It doesn't change it because it means say I am Mama, say I am Mao, Yegusu, that's our job. It tells you the credibility that you have for somebody to even address you and your issue. But why is it that this is how we are going at the moment? You want to work professionally without necessarily insulting her. Nobody wants to watch you.
Yeah.
They want to hear people who will insult, blue, black, and tell lies. Blatant lies. You cannot even come and say this thing the person says is wrong. Inciting. Media people are inciting people. And people are excited because boys now say, I come the woman to be able to say, or can be a my young say, or Benyadi, or can't watch some class, more forgiving me, friends. One thing. One found they believe in people like that. And today, the political terrain has changed.
And then I just say, media demand they are say crowd.
I can bloggers here, the social media bloggers is here. Even the politicians. They worship those people on social media.
Yeah. More
celebrities.
Yeah.
Celebrities as we speak. Yes.
To do that.
Yeah, and pay them for the work they are doing. And
but on another note, baby, at this kind of political landscape, flowing from Abronye, any baby I into 2028, Said the okay say politicians. First, now journalists and say politicians to Yomuka. Say so amount of bloggers near the room and insult not say double. And by 2028 there, it's going to be messy. Said the okay.
Oh, yeah, and because 2024 elections are calling. No. Even after 2024, when NDC won. Or more for what they suffered in the hands of their own foot soldiers. It wasn't easy for them. And they near stabilize the kaka. In fact, according to one media person, recently some foot soldiers went to Jubilee. In fact, they went to Castle. They wanted to demonstrate, video themselves because promises no more by the mom and mine. And it took some high level NDC penny for security people to tone it down, speak to them to calm down. And from Kaka. And if we all don't speak, if Asofo Ankasa, Christian Council and Mekasa, Peace Council and Mem, and penny for him for Mekasa because and now if we grab most of fire sort libi. Yeah, the matem. Now I'm sure some man can plain politicians in penny for leaders of political parties should speak against it and not embrace people who have that attitude. You do not embrace people man or you have to speak against it.
And I just say NDC is even guilty about this because the people that they enabled, one of them Ghana, Abronye, they were all over the place embracing him, facilitating him. I
saw me physically video the many who NDC Pennyman in Southern Coma, one in the air Nante.
There was nothing like that. Yes, that's true. Yes.
Yet today, where I saw him was so-called Radio Gold interview. Yet today, Senator Secret they protesting. Yet today, I didn't see that on video. I didn't see any MP, any minister, the president welcoming him in Jubilee. Man, who be?
But I think the presumption for making it say, no, there was an effective bench warrant in force.
Of course.
It is any rule Ghana jurisdiction. Not a bench warrant now and to me and kiki in a
bench warrant. If you want to say
a court, any bailiffs.
And now I be on the executive bench warrant.
I make at court the bailiffs no more also more executive.
Then a court the bailiff no the power why executive.
They can do it on their own, oh.
Bench warrant no.
Yeah.
Bailiff na bet me akwache.
Yes, bailiff and just on they have to do it chilling the police.
Chilling the police. And the bench warrant at you be police na escort here. And today, if you have a problem with it,
okay, we should go the blame deal with the police. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
To talk about it, deal with the person because after all, depend by one, you know, wakwa kana sem court akasa de na criminal civil into court.
Exactly.
On a civil matter.
Exactly.
Well, obi aso sorry bi omo fanya na just obeko court.
Exactly.
Say your hene. Say your swafo. Say your politician bi. Woman na kasa tente sa obi aso nko ba bia biom. Because
you can't blame Mahama. You can't blame it's not a Mahama problem.
No, you cannot. Into your bit not no kase nanu ya yete MPP ni blogger bi. Fancy comedy. I like the way when he talks or then it's but I know no crown a cat, ask them no, you'll be for fraud.
Exactly.
Or Munya no only chrome on. Nasa Bibisa and it's all connected to the fast tank for focus at him, the Dawson. And he's arrested for that. Now we a flag bearer, now former flag bearer, Nebia, Odin will fear. People will assume that you probably endorse that kind of talking.
Exactly.
You yourself, you are not like that. Oh. One kasa one who Brasia Broso, a Tony
no, because she a blogger, it was wrong.
Absolutely. It doesn't take you to do that. You can call the guy. Ubet me a friend, but you could let the others
it could have been off camera behind the scenes that could openly do that was an endorsement of insults.
Yes, meanwhile, Ebia Abronye people were near them. But on the platform, and now almost trained for that. And this is and for own ground, what Dima quiet said, we need to hold any party. Yes, sir. Men can't say no to men, friend, man, if you say, oh, yeah, people did your Bounty, we need to honor. Men can't say friend, but we are no free, but why be no friend?
Okay.
Why the other 4 candidates are more person bear flag bearers? One more one, call him. And be about Pokran and didn't see a country.
But you'll be major fans. I agree with what you are saying. But your move no was wrong.
Oh, let me say, and all of them, whoever wants to be flag bearer of any political party for Christ's sake, should come out publicly and let people know this is not what we want. We cannot continue this. Let's speak our mind. If you are a blogger, speak your mind about issue, not insult. and yes, our ban one time, and I twice say, and I yeah, and I say, contain, and why contain,
Trivial issues. Trivial.
why wouldn't him talk? Wouldn't him talk on our own talk? Wouldn't him talk on? Oh, was sanity and idea, Gunipan any first. Next, I only pan one bema. If you are a man or a woman and you think insult is the solution, you don't have facts. You don't even know what you are saying. If you have facts about issues, you will go the Samite way or the Samia way. Bring the facts. Let's dialogue with the facts. Figures. What year way saying the see where you are more discussing, more you say facts and figures.
Okay. But banana yam no so ne enko de na ma so ne press conference here all kan ye say. So same way I talk about me, I was wrong in meeting the bloggers because that action alone now appears that he's endorsing insults.
Yeah.
They say obi obedi atembia wo ba me ukro you say achi Abronye nye. Wo so support e binu ma ya achi o ma na say wo so for insult no so. But yanko Muhammad ye or in the press conference excellency so say politics of insult no ya ados nti sa dia obi a obe fall foul of the law because still like although obi yawa your defamation which is a civil suit.
Yeah.
Yes, now a criminal law no which is publication of false news. I know you like or not, President Kufuor, you know. But publication of false news still there were a criminal acting. Criminal act and chromadi chai and it's a one day we go for baby. But now President Mama is excellency they say a bit trace IP address. Is President Mama being fair when people say that he's a beneficiary of the insults? And now also the old trace will be IP address. Say Kufuor do should ready will be IP address. And they say come supporting and can buy now on can be at the end of trust. But you all just say you allowed it. But now they also called tracing.
I said to me crown command different. If you are 2 minutes crown command different. You might say so you benefited from it. And at what point should we stop? At what point? And exercise you die. At one time you die. At what point do we stop? You understand? At what point? And as I attempt the way so let me say. So yeah, you benefit from something that was going. It hasn't ended though. And let's say
it's ongoing.
So because say be NDC supporters and our food soldiers will more him the deal. Because you listen to radio stations and sometimes you want to puke. Put here media people on air. You are listening to them and sometimes you want to say do we na journalism school ye na ye wura hwa na say ya go
ebi anko bi en dey say wa we are.
But because a bit radio so or a bit ko bie and this is the way they are going and they are at both political
is it that Nana is it that a bit so listeners any viewers na aba no atem didi na ye omo de
and then you do the one waka no and
but we must have public policy. There's a reason why
we did the way we did our work from radio station to TV stations. We did not trade insults for this name we have. We did not. We just speak our mind and speak it as hard as possible. And I said, vociferously. It's not like this is wrong. Without fear or favor. Whether a MC, the Mekasi a comment sometime in a MC in a boy and in a car near the call rounds. Yeah, baby, a cook, Mr. MC, question, Miss Papa, the some of car say around that. Back can some say the academic. The Mauni power. One of them say. And if you do those things and people see like what is going on, people see what you are talking about. And then Yakogalam say side. One will say ensure no. Ensure na ya say ya hu adwuma ya galam stop. Ya during the MPP
Vanguard.
Activities of small scale and all forms of mining apart from large scale. Edi omuko training watakwa aban sika etua minus no anase de ma teacher for me etre o ma de training o mo camp o mo o ma de so mbe community mining the consistent. You assess that after this is how much we spent, this is the result we got. And if we did not get results, we think, say, you're wasting taxpayers' money. We speak about it. Abai NDC spoke against Galamsey, said things that, and they have supported the fact that there should be an emergency, state of an emergency. Maybe from that time now to the still I'm in support of that. Because the effect it had on the small scale miners who were really licensed, they are regulated, no? It was huge.
Yeah, we are emergency now, state of emergency now. Yeah,
it was huge.
Because we
So
want to put an license. Said okay.
Yes. But or the propaganda, the elections were winning. But deep down they knew it's not going to be an easy battle. I mean, Galamsey it's not easy. It's not an easy fight in Ghana.
The NDC knew it, said the almost can end Juma, but they said it anyway.
They knew it that no, this state of emergency called that it's not a solution because there has been a halt for a period. It didn't solve the problem. It did not solve the problem. Excavators, who may be excavators. Wouldn't penny for deep down didn't come after what a report. It spelled out some of the people who had the excavators. If we are more accused or accused or none of the back. And they are buying for Fraba, trying to find another way of dealing with it. Saying that you cannot just cry excavators because the excavators about Romono. You need to crowd money.
Apparently, we are the biggest importer of excavators.
As we speak. Abaya and Najee said, no, we will regulate it. The old ones that were there, they started moving it from, in fact, Hanabisu went round, arrested some illegal miners excavators. On one side, Babante because excavators or no, or who may be afa. Oh, who may be afa. When a small no host, one a small isn't that here or there, and a Jumo Yana Jumo isn't that here or there because they all campaigned.
And then I just President Mama by they are not because the rest was report new one or the other. Even NBC chairman, I think 4th Estate also published it. Engaging Galamsey, they just stop.
Oh, Sadano.
Because they said President Mama told them go for crack Australia, but they just come here to.
At the moment, your gold bond, you hear gold there. Ukraine said gold at the moment, you open contributor of an economic CFI gold. And you cocoa be more. Can you know cocoa? Siciano, cocoa about number 2, gold name number 1.
Okay.
It's who declare state of emergency, our economy, no, and a uguno. And fact. Because now we have a gold bond who buys gold.
No, but Nancy, who agree say it was hypocritical on NDT part, or can't say a state of emergency. Because they knew say EMFA, but still almost can't say Kufu don't
say. If you are not the other candidate vote, there, say I no me him that I don't see him deal. You they say politicians, biano, you like you so back vote now, Fefe. You want to test the other kind better ni pana dream or better Obama.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Or be what to me executing the manifesto 100%.
Yeah, that is true.
Obi anywhere what to me aye knowing very well say manifesto no atro na nema oye no o to me nyani nyina that wo mo fiagum ukwa agreka ubetimi NDC or MPP of agreka uka ni na to me say eh nkofo to me ade ya Ghana asesa Ghana tenji kwa aviation ye the airline for be ba kwesi sen kwa tourism. And about tourism, previous government, and they 9 months into NDC, you're not there 9 months. You can pardon because it's just 9 months. So them say. So it is you, the voter, that has to peruse the issues and know that look. Now you don't saying it to me peruse the issues to know that these things are good. Wait up for me. 24-hour economy. Yeah, the year to say the cost will be a new way and there. Ghana, a very good policy. How would we go about it? Is it possible to bet me execute?
But you see, I think that sometimes but see, I think sometimes where people have the issue is about me towns or castle gold for oil. And this will heavily criticize them. Gold for oil, doesn't exist. But gold for oil, no, they bought gold and not a good bank of Ghana and they show up Ghana economy.
I know for 19.
Exactly.
So, sure, Bank of Ghana reserves. How did you go about it? letting people know the results we got from gold from oil.
Before them to me and church almost go for oil no more assembly. Unlike NDC, waiting me explaining gold board.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It was their problem. Whatever they decided to see, the major problem they had from even 2020 and 2024 was the fact that MPO, Minister, on a free SHS. As if free SHS is the only thing that Ghanaians need.
I get your point. So
they
they
sang themselves. Go school or not the free SHS here. Maybe by real school, maybe benefit there, but when real school no needs us free or the quantity. What kind of 2016? What the year, Juma? What on 2020? 2020 ni kwa kawe ngayeka. Now usa be year 2024, and all you talk about is free SHS. Meanwhile, ebia why airport continuation of it? Why away? You speak to them and look. This is what you are saying. Let the people see it. They don't. And all they do is free SHS, Asa. And then during the campaign, the conversation was about digitalization. Somebody who was touted to be an economic guru. Now his conversation from economic guru has changed to digitalization. And a bad policy, because America has digitalization works perfectly. So it's a perfect policy. But you're taking on digitalization, what you're saying. How well did he understand? Because as compared to the upper Jumaya 24-hour economy, Memo Jumaya 24, who besides a light burn or the band here, Upaya Jumana, you bet you come and ask you bet light so no to be a 24-hour economy. Say by a young starting, Papa. But 24, the upper Jumaya like dealing with that kind of conversation than you telling him digitalization because on him or no free. Although it's not a bad policy. All them say. So all these things can you be one a man near maybe that is not what they are looking at, or that's not what they are talking about. They are not talking about trying to explain or even fine-tune what went wrong during the 2024 elections. That is not their conversation. Or rebranding the person who was seen as an economic messiah into digitalization, and now as post Neka say he's going to win. No, how are you going to rebrand the person? No, it's not a conversation anymore. I don't know.
Because the point you said is very important. So our homework, no. I think that is why Mimi said last time I was saying MPP executives are that phone in and they need a complete overhaul. No more new faces and people whose credibility was because kind of more credibility. If it's our same way, I can come back. It's very unlikely to go for Kabeji. So they need new people who have credibility, who almost are believable. It's easy to believe them and deal with the issues. No, Mokano. Good evening, Akwaba. Yo. Now, he wants to join as one of the new executives, which I think is good.
Yeah, of course.
Honorable posture or personality. And
all those politicians, why are you managing?
Yeah, and I ain't sure me say Ibrahim Asemini gold water a year man. Nobody's even speaking about it. Why? Because NDC public perception is so positive to say. Obiakro who send this a mistake. Because you say Ibrahim don't be or memo be against MPP for Amoka say Japan. From day one, I'm going to the last day. We fought you, including myself. We fought you. Because again, the perception is that MPP for the board. You see, so honorable Ubeja to say, baby, I'm what we said, and I come here overhaul, rebranding, repositioning, reprioritization. Ubeja to
Mamma, at the funny, I have winning answer. And I'm what you who was that, Emma? If you say you any pay, a doctor for I can say Brano, yeah, I am running a nipetium. So, yeah, lawyer for Kriana, Brano, would you maybe I would be Anna in Yayanki, Waba, as a client. Yes, sir. Me kuftu fear ham, Kotasa, say ham, let's say. Ye kaya, yato ya ide adwuma omo anaka chiro engine
Servicing.
servicing and the other. It is a political party a dynamism and a dynamic entity. Near di adencheche near Massasa Mresa. And until Macrea di Minya di border, I'm a crum and I'm red on it. I'm ready to Dania where the Odano. Until and create through say here rebranding. Say your Dania may be a deep for fro. Na enye bre edikan ye said. Tebekaya 1992 ye kwa abatro so ana ye candy for a year Professor Adubuahi. Say ye lose presidential and yanko parliamentary no. It's a honor penitence ye throw the stolen verdict no cry we no. Then who be here say such a near maybe. Benefit me ye. Leading to 1996, 2000 Anna a barefoot. Such a no home balance so papa. Na didi mo
Yes, it take
2000.
8 years old. As soon as that changes, then reform, rebranding, no. So bad fast. What you just any amudi 2032.
Fine, next.
There be. The Tiana said, Koba 2008. Ah, no Trimuden. One say, I Trimudeni abakuma 70. I can when years are 7. Okwa abem na oye adwuma oye ade kakra na ye bojo so bojo so a wi na trima koyode na do kwa akoto ho eti oye na ayem fom so kra ye peri wa beti kra want na no answer oye kokopim se obepem Ghana ya batro nsise no mu no ene ma esesa 2020 despite adwuma New Patriotic Party year no first term nyina no na bibi kakra ne abakoma 70 on say 2020 election anyemre sa
It was tough.
anyemre sa 2028
is going to majority of seats, no key constituencies.
It's going to repeat itself 2020.
Not the vote so take
that can be say
I say so phenomenal no e be repeat itself in 2028. Now the bema na ehu na be one say 2028 there abai besa ejina niam kakra bi so as I say ye party as a machinery no and say ye mu adwuma overhaul. I agree to that. Ye ni Ghana for kuta hodie as I say ye shem kena ye lose na for attitude be say num here papa. The media, we've lost the media as friends. We've lost friends in the business community as friends. We've lost the academia, 10 and 4. We've lost, think I say you for no cry, you lose one because by you lose one. And more importantly, we've lost our identity. The identity I name said New Patriotic Party, 77 previous. And the day who good temuna cassette, yeah, who be prepared, kakra, we are getting to that level. And you, I don't know, we need to come back. As I said, Yamagana for who senior, yet a shoe and the buyer, a Maya Hoya Conon. And oh, Sanyama Winina, a Makwa, in here, my strategic thinking. Now, it's driven by leadership. And Sana, when you're for almost so about so. There a year na man ye mre kakra and say ye woni pa na betimi ayesa ade ya ka ni say ye be ma won kwai ye be ma won tumi to lead us na o ma kire ana o ma kire kwampa yi nyina ye mfa so that's all that is needed.
Good but who can say me say 2020 seats now nkonwa kese prominent MP lose ye no e be repeating itself in 2028.
Yes.
It may repeating itself in 2028 against who? Against more MPP for it. 87 now. Now the incumbent NDC not here konya to be lose or not on there.
Obelusu ne de ntina me say 2028 you know they see and be repeat itself 2024 2028 be repeat but in the favor of New Patriotic Party.
Okay.
In chair musume watchini and used to walk on down. I'm not in a haste to criticize them. If you say, Ubeboa won crab or Madawa also, or Nema be brave. And Nema, a day NDC, I fear see every battle. At Tara Habanso, we are going to revisit LGBT.
Okay.
We will revisit it. You haven't drawn Ghana for attention to it. Galamse, a day, a pigeon or a shas there. But they say, Namoka gold board near there. A serious issue at the NDC, they call how Mukespa. Then the seeming leadership crisis within them.
Yes,
South
after
Forest,
Mahama Kobium, no.
yeah, which is there for them to deal with. And Sana South Forest, a $CD in Sema, ya can a pimpen for buy is there. Now, government expenditure. Government as at now, 8 months in office. Almost spend every. Unspending BBA, it means no development. Unspending it means that Bosha will say it is not forthcoming. And by the time they start spending, and they begin the true nature of the economy. Now, I am a to say, Omanya 8 months in office, yes, sir.
8 months
Yeah,
going into 9 months.
9 months. If you are my assignment, what do I be? Research, mommy. 9 months, the first 9 months in office, 2017 of first Akufo-Addo government. You shared the now or my name, even in the worst scenario, 2021, 9 months in office. You can compare because you comparison this is here. As I said, you here. The first 9 months in office of Ubia because uba bemu pe so also subsidy who cry a partner subsidy no cry uba bemu pe who that goodwill. We say ni penny that we say what in such a fufu be ba. So this year me no ka say aban so we yi levy e fi ho or so we yi betting tax e fi ho. Owie ye no okofa devil levy D levy no doomso levy so no aba. When him say the no can say Bank of Ghana at the new levy aba.
Okay.
If you have no money me ochina. Now the true me dollar account to me or Ghana. Now me could year make we at 3% of that. Are you aware?
3% of Sikan on all foreign remittances.
Exactly.
Wow.
3%. No we say foreign remittances no a dorsal. Into a better gate na no. Obeje. Why no could there or more Ghana for money? Only Ghana for and call Bank of Ghana
I was
because
spending money transfer and I'm now getting it.
Exactly. One call Parliament and the Ghana for Akukawasem. If you say Wakosha Bank of Ghana, Anna acquire Bank of Ghana policy, which of course
So in that case, he doesn't need to go to Parliament.
Debbie in Tiamrebia, but send your woman, yes, say, Oma Frab of Noma bad the Geo Mino. Now get suspected so many Ghana for a beginning year, no more can't more much Ghana for. And the woman who said,
to be fair, say no to yes, he can so Munina Muka say revenue basket it needs to be expanded. Into the end, it is not smart thinking, say. Because President Kufuor, I know my foreign remittance be very popular. Because President Kufuor to obi all the Fabra. And are they not smartly, intelligently building on baby President Kufuor the Edru and foreign remittances say, "Yan fan as a question, yan here for the ebeju or monemo, escapona mo abroche mo de buy, you 3%. Is that not a smart move? But is that not a very smart policy?
Afia chromophobia can't it no Kegetia chromophobia to bottom me be out to bottom me and you smart. Chromophobia this the action the action no smart. Foreign remittances if you are for 7 can you see how abuchi na mane abrewa wo mredane na amakromu a o man $100 or no nya scan you What you say?
Yeah,
But I buy it for you. Saka crano every in ho. I buy can say cocoa. A kufuado ma a queer for 3,100. Almost a kufuado any papa, papa. Say, Anya Shika 6,000. To mobile by mu pet or mobile. Mobile over the 1,120. The cow 3,220. Queer neighbor say, or serve finance minister, only 120. No one could be a fund, not a Libya or the Akotum knowing here. That's our non in the car. Bio, yet your memoir, CCA. The commodore, nay, here, now we need the beer, doing the beer, but was soon get the upper power. And then internal security. When him say you were refugees are over to every Ghana, a court and farmer.
Yeah. The Monday last week I can watch them. Yep.
And Tina who and Yadia, a sector boy.
They a serious issue.
President na Bobo Hano on one feature on one crew. Baby, I went the MP or for almost 20 years. I was some near came. And me person me pepper me because me be the general secretary.
Okay.
Na me the new patriotic party anim. I'm here Rebranding party no. Na afe ya de aban no ne nan ahyegem.
Okay.
Ya de be fancy form. Odi si form am say. Odi hyegem no aka no kre. What you say?
Okay.
Now yet began a what
dog, and then after the can say some of the things I hope person on the NDC channel, campaign issues and mono money until you should understand the game. So Omoka, for instance, Galamsey as a moment say state of emergency not possible. They know and solve a problem, no. But they had to say it for power, and you people are aware. And they say more concretize them for what? Because I can say these are all necessary political tactics which you people are aware.
They are not just aware. If you are, they are part. Almost yebi.
Yeah, you be deviate from you be na from. You be ma Ghana for who say Galamsey no. Nsuo na say. Nsuo na say no. Your life. Aban the president that catch say ya turn gold and $6 billion. Yes, sir. Na sika na way. See, and $6 billion there. You too nsuo mu bio. You too electricity mu bio. Yet you have your core IMF. According $3 billion. If you me and sending IMF in this basis can create me. It will about now within 8 months. I could turn you gold and $6 billion there. Then I want insure tariff. Oko to my oko ji anyone
Okay.
Oko ji and I go to nothing near the view. 6 billion amusmanya and Ghana the view. I pay Yakwe.
What do you suspect? It's kind of way. I thought maybe another thing.
I'm say name pepper me for cry.
Okay. Very well.
It true, brother. Now can say political tactics. Why am I? A different ball game. You be Ghana for the short change. As see any contumpo. Indeed, over to me at your contumpo add to me. Said I fine, I agree. But ubebu who akonta. So why ubebu who akonta say by and large, I am of the view that a bread do some media you bet me indicate the average Ghanaian electorate. Now over to me who contumpo no cremun so because say you can see a baby say ya when him say sorry I yakui. So for be wa obekona so obeko wa wani tu ase kontompo pa na that's one make and kisa so now so ti aso dem to collection that crow when ni beti what na so dem bi was
now.
na hobi was obeko even doctor medical doctors here one or hwe or ma unuro to aso mienu miensa na wa yare no kwa na nkwa so be person be doctor obesa doctor fofo wo de wasem koma lawyer kina court a na ebu ago so ade be chi na ebu lawyer ba akukra de oyeye na or cross examine ayi say witness no opposing witness no na maame no abrewa or here or the your house I put it to you that from maame by no I frustrated that lawyer and start here maame I put it to you as a lawyer and you put to
Yeah, I put on put what they you put it to it as you baby against Nico.
you baby echo and unti open move for be out to the ben. It is a politician say be twa kuntumpa kire electric the church near the agitimia. Mre ne kwa na nimu no electric ani battery wo mu behu. Ebi ne yete.
No, when person na bremu because
I wanted to ask something. Say, well, NDC about power. One of the things they campaigned about forex here.
Yes.
They have been able to sustain it 1 to 10 if anything 10 cities, $1 to 10, and they are started depreciating, but 1 to 12.2. So the Ghanaian who is a businessman that NPP lost because they could not to me and stabilize the city against the dollar. And to get no na or banner a bedroom baby who supermarket. Oba for price tag and money. And to what on 2 city, who can once I have a 3 city and they on one sustaining a good woman is our goodwill. No, all those are started depreciating. Those are one of the they are supposed to look at. And then with that branding, as I said, rebranding an economist to Obia Oka digitalization, somebody who has been a banker, a governor or deputy governor of Bank of Ghana, and now talking about technology. Now you no your communicator now only know anything about it. Who spoke against it? And people say only economists didn't come out. They tell you that this thing looks artificial. But the normal Ghanaian, the businessman does not care what artificial is or not. So although it's depreciating, that question came up. He explained why it's happening and that there will be a balance. And to still no goodwill no how many now no your businessman now no. And to what many secretary for MPP no, you must know what you will be saying against that dollar and cedi. Because
the he's been Dubai and China and the on phone won't say back home no.
And for not spending no a strategy. The fact that is not even spending a strategy. You might see it as a negative strategy if you are in economy.
Exactly.
Nana so dear. May you need to cook a cram. Mammy free forex. Forex was in there
12 something 20 pesos.
Nana, who say, would you have kuntumpu abura if you feel now? Dollar seed in a course, a cocoa do 10 cities. Yes, sir. A federal baby crown will be about 8 cities. President Mahame free a bemu first terminal. Now your 4 cities 60%.
Yeah.
In the papa man to commit me, I'm an abba former be drew 4 cities 60%. Yeah, who's right? Do you know what is happening? When the dollar got to 10 cities, Ghana government lose revenue 30%.
Gold, no.
That be city to dollar. When the city
okay.
When the city appreciated, not dollar number 10 cities, Ghana government revenue suffered 30% loss. So they had to go. What's it?
Explain
forex.
I'm explaining it now. International say over 2 million Bank of Ghana. Nominate governor near contrast. Hey, madam, adia ye. And no ma IMF them and the World Bank them say most sure dollar sikano cedi no mode ayibi na ewura ne mu onyini nru ba bia waduro na ho odin nru ho ana mo pia na akoduru ho eti de mo ye na ayawudisem emoa de womu ba first 3 months omu de $350 million and a shame. The following month omu de $460 million reserve na Never the so-called, mostly so-called economists now, while more no kind of digitalization, reserves of $9 billion now, buyable the good, and this is buying, and no more support to dollar.
And you know, no more show up dollar no to
And no
stabilize
more
it.
show up dollar.
You
And
know,
the
just
air
about
cost
me,
your
on the machine insuring up the dollar.
and until IMF, no World Bank, draw my attention, say, you people should stop. You can't do that because then you're sustainable. Yeah, answer na usika be appreciate no. Na usika be wa hode no. You need to do more export. Now what import so. So MDC ba be mu 9 months. It just say export akosoro say. Import so what say. That is the basic economics.
Yeah, but doc, for the ordinary average Ghanaian
Oh,
voter, they don't care
meba.
about increasing the
Meba. Me,
exports and reducing imports.
me what you mean?
How do they lose
Efia,
the business community?
efia meba hopa. But so your fundamentals here and Sunday are called a former the ordinary man here and your proper.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
Bloomberg, September, Omar Bassett, Ghana cedi no, and only the worst performing currency in the whole world. It's on record. And he said, "Wo bombarding and what me stabilize the dollar. Then our currency no the worst performing." No. Now, let's come to the ordinary man. And the ordinary Ghanaian importer, a buying say, you go to 12 cities something. Google has 12 cities.
12 cities, 20 pesos, yes.
Opa bank was over there. If all about you walk on 13 cities, almost 14 cities. As we speak now. 12 cities in Bank of Ghana. And now they call any of your own banks. And the average Ghanaian importer businessman MPP nibufu ye no ene wa realize who say nibufu ye kwa if you say the omu kachire no enye no kre anuti na importers they are crying, they are weeping. Now it is our 24-hour economy. Me I have an intel omu kosi agutafo ye Ghana Union Traders Association omu ye major importers omu de niamaba abino by Mr. Gusitano or that 24-hour economy. And no one could see a buying Saturday and say, power on Chelsea, Omunyai importation. Now, rather, for manufacturing. You produce local production.
See, that is the bottom line. I bet me I stop it as the exchange fluctuation. No, but now we are long term.
Now, that's it. It's Omunyai.
But look, the Nana can one thing as well. Cause one opposition, one power. But the big thing is to get the voters so that you can implement our export import. No, that one is the technical aspect. But Nana can say for the ordinary voter, no, to decide between one and this, you know. Only the NDC okay, man, because 12.2 no cry okay, man. I better than baby I'm Mumudi.
Ufri so quiet. Yeah, me say 12.2, but Okwa banka wunya. This Okwa buchi ho 14 cedi.
Okay.
Me no okase. Okwa bank 12.2 no dey ya decoration. Ya if you offer Okwa bank ho a wunya. This Okwa buchi ho. Enti Bank of Ghana the obema rate no. Na $10 na pa na dey. This abuchi.
Okay, very well. Yeah, moving forward. Rebranding as no.
Now, the businessman na me MPP malusu no. Because na dollar fluctuation near the other. And then we realize who say a short lived. At the said, Bonsama Chawadi, Bonsama Chawadi, and then see our budget, but a bit deny. Now, who's Mr. Robonaba? Sana quay. And the Mijitum, stand your money be bra, yeah. And now I'm more you 2 years be and swear you penny be any. And so now, if you men may see a rape, he said, too much familiarity, a breedy content. Obano anqua, would you any so? And no matcher, fra or jabo. In chat, Nanny Pawaya for me. Dr. Mood Baumia, the economist, I saw done digitalization. You Ramahama Najiatu, the modern trend of economy is being driven by digitalization worldwide. A BBR. And so economy running under the digitalization. And yeah, integrated aspect.
Okay.
When you are talking about economy, you are talking about jobs. You are talking about diversification of production and services. You are talking about the influx. You are talking about service rendering, social services, hospitals, schools, and we did this term inside it fits into the economy.
Okay.
But that's not a campaign for the ordinary Ghanaian. I am masters no. I mean, as I said, a good policy, but it's not a campaign method.
Nane. You see, you see, the truth is, you assume the ordinary Ghanaian, averagely. You see, I mean, no way you will feel now. Oh, mommy, a friend is aduane na ntene ne asikyire ni mu a so seven me aduane na ntene ne asikyire ni mu a wonim say ye good ma me health but me ya afia ma me yi asikyire na ye ma me kwa kodi e no ana me di ewu nti kopem se mani beba no so se asi ye o ma me asikyire na e de no me di ewu o ma me sugar free no ono na eboa me se me nya hunu no kure na wo mu na I will go for the sugar free. And until gradually, and you, and then it's the average Ghanaian is coming to terms with the realities on the ground. Because who budget 2 minutes free? Where you do galam say so I'm able. And then go for the minister.
If you don't rebranding now, I work for galamsey because rebranding now cast NDC me person cast so that or be responding doc be responding to that.
Yeah, I know that. I was saying, the leader Baumia, not the leader for MPP.
Yeah.
And I read my voice in Kosovo. I thought voice not for. I don't know why.
Chairman, the leader, Emma MPP. The then leader Baumia, who is seen, although I've seen some of the polls say Kennedy be winning any idea, but majority of the polls is still tilting towards Dr. Mahamudu Baumia. Now he has at the moment you don't know where to place him, whether he's still an economist or the man has turned into a technological person. The economist worked 2016. You won elections. Things went wrong 2022. Rebranded to become a technical person. It didn't work 2024. At the moment, the rebranding we are talking about, is not happening. Rebranding. How are you rebranding a party that had a leader that was seen as an economist, now a technical person? If he's coming the third time or coming 2028 and you want to win power, rebranding
okay. Okay. Now, you will who say person call flag bearer. There were about 5 candidates here, flag bearers. I mean hopeful. Okay. As we speak today, you need the flag bearer.
I know say flag bearer no. How our party now say the way it's supposed to be bottom up approach. Now you are doing top down approach. No, it's something that looks like it's being worked to favor one person. To be honest with you, almost MPs ni bebre na edi Dr. Mahamudu Baumia. A few follow Canada Japan. DC is Ekokosia, Canada Japan. If we are seeing Canada Japan, and DC is supporting Mbabonte because I know correct. Majority of them decided to say that we are supporting, though the NPP, I know now. One person cannot decide, even if you are the party MP in the constituency. Say, "Oh, MP who support you, Obia Kwako DH." But so it's looking like, although there are 5, Obia where but me efia was as a politician. Me pia won tum there because we are looking for a general secretary. But efia me no nanim that is top 2 at the moment. Top 2 which was then. And it's looking like the ball is being thrown to the old person who won, and he might be going again 2028.
Na they were Kenya ya conjuncture. Your
But that is what polls
opinion.
does.
And you are entitled to your opinion, which I agree. And to you. But until it is over, it is not over.
I agree.
Let's give time some time. Yay, new
You think
patriotic
he
party.
won't win?
Oh, why are you saying so? Why should I also think he will win?
Okay.
Because it's a contest. Now contest, you know, bibia betumi afiri mu aba. But say kamepe wo yi no, kamepe ne say anka ebia what trick ne yes, oh, in the likely event ebia Congress ebekwa kuyi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia biwa, how people going to rebrand him? That one I'll be a bit comfortable. But you are being emphatic here, as if say the basi sabre ni nyina ekuta wo nsem ene
Oh,
ade.
that the honorable. Moko Congress na saying. More than never
Conference.
be to Congress.
Yeah,
One of the things that came up.
Congress. Yeah, called conference.
Conference, yes.
Conference. One of the things that came up was the top-bottom approach, which was not your style.
It did not come
a lot
up.
of the foot soldiers,
It did not come up. Our conference.
Oh,
It didn't
wasn't.
come up when that was
it
the
did.
main issue.
No. It wasn't. It wasn't for conference. Oh, wouldn't see me. It wasn't for conference to make that decision. That decision was made by National Council.
But what they call conference?
Debbie. It wasn't a decision taken at conference. This decision now you're taking a National Council. And no, binding. Because the decisions that if you're taking a conference, not a non-council. But because it was part at the same time, people assume the conference in G2 no. National Council decision. But whatever it is, a decision I have taken. Me personally, I did not like it. Personally. Knowing me rule I'm a play or party, me nyanya, and normal. But at this point in time, the leadership of the party, as per National Executive Steering Committee and National Council, have so decided. Until I am obliged. Until the aka is a kwan ben ye befa so a ye be ya e be ye na e de asumdue beba. That is why. As other than that, contestants now almost 5 ni nyina. Ubisa ubia on view towards that. And I can assure you say unanimously anka dodo ni nyaya nke ye no say that.
Bottom up, yes.
But because say omu me madwene yi bi say your decision taken and we are all bound by it. As I said, you did you name say a bay juma na emfa or how be but that is where we are. Now, whatever the what say the ususu would be a say one candidate is being favored or whatever. Me, hey, I am not. Because they share him say, you see how they say me general secretary, they are only be yampan the same ma.
Yeah.
They share say ye be yin de bebe bia party ni be nyina so papa na ye move on in unity and dia me ne wo ya adwen na me ne obi ya adwen se say ye akansie ne mu ana ho fan na ye wie na obi di nkugu a wo ma ne kwan ma ne de kɔhye bibi ama yawdie ba ema se e ba se so obeka ho kra na ye fa ye nimu a na ba mu apu eno de me ne obi ya adwen until for that reason ya share your home na me can you say it is incumbent on party leadership to ensure fairness, transparency, and openness. Into the obedi nkunim no na so bi beka sampo a na nye bibi bia basabi. So other say na no 2012 about so I call you didn't go ni patriotic party you didn't go nyasa you call court Supreme Court presidential petition you see and tia ho ase yes see 2024 you didn't go you call court court
I'm 41 they own to me court sir.
oh other NDC for now no so come court didn't go 2016 court and no grad to tell court if no moment to me every. But on a more serious note, the issue of our flag bearer is one thing to talk about. And then the restructuring of the party is another thing. And if some person who flag bearer, how we will rebrand our flag bearer. Pokra, Tobo, Nino. Yira, ye name so Kwabna Kukufu as General Secretary. Now, strategies are the near Nianum near Didibu Kwemwa. You be branded, sir, and I very branded, sir, flag bearer of the panel. Yeah, when you bet it. Now, in fact, Mama consultancy because what can name any Lubia? Step in my Juma, who bet me. Now, what the Abuame na kwa meet me a faso. Now, met me a rebrand, and I yet me a rebrand. Such a person. Would him send for be by me also coming off flag bearer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, make your penny say yes, the Dawamasi. Name will mean yet. Because for bare 5-6 years ago, 2-3 years, and then we are not be above my juniper. Elsusu Makuma will say, Bribi say, obey. Men, you know, who's ada. Ntinye nana yedi nkugu amana bro so na ye hu baby e fa na sorry an ma fam bag ade am e ko flag bearer I would do say you know me nye nti baby am ho odin betimi any party organization
Okay.
omwame na me put it that
on party
yeah.
organization, and earlier she made a comment about Abronye Day. Me, even in my intro, I said it. This Abronye Subanyo or Danedi, which more MPP for Bebraka say, oh, NDC for ye, and they say, yes, we are called at MDD. Yen in Aya Kawahase, as journalists, I Juma we are channel. This is a deviation from the brand na MPP for Ekutano. And MPP they who and kaya catch for party. This and then one shall sponsor for Moody at them because Nana can say me said the Abronye. The initial target was unfamiliar the candidate back at them. And I say at CSM na collateral damage now cost your president Mama Moso, any other people. So is this the MPP now winning? Into what can rebranding no more rebranding from this and as I say Munina so more rebrand more be at them nibi.
Yes.
So Tiemia na me can say we've lost good friends you know. Me can friend about to be can home so our friend who him no me see we've lost our identity. But my main fire core values grand camp. If you didn't into the okay. And yet you suit nearby no. So wouldn't say your way your man temo be who akoda bi ana be maybe utwam no okọ ne ba bi din na okọ no oba okọ ne nyuma so no aba da kro bi a be hu street team awro no shirt na pupu wini masoma be di kaka no we dia ba no say cratch jaja nye usuba kra no wo ankasa wudi adanse say da bi obu no ho strong e bi obi agege na ma na bro so ana tubaya nkensem fata we yi nedi eno no sa na utumi de no che no na watu no that's that nti ye betutu ya hofo e bia bi binti ana me kokodu sa ake
That dog where there is not too fast. Abronye Day it's been going on man kai say Dr. Gideon Bwakoko comes if I can program. So come catch and say, the course you say, somebody should talk to Abronye. Say, oh, only nipa, yan sumano, oniba omia kam. But Abronye starting the video, you know. And this some
but you see the truth is yeah deeper individuals if free FPM will be our own soon abishia nti ye hwese nka ye nyina no common grounds bi o ha boundaries bi o ha ye free home ba obenya ba ku mienu bi o ha be break bounds we go school boarding school na so ko girls school ma be see ehuri war break bounds free school so Can school no su ne ban no. School ni nya na akoda bia ye discipline. Akoda bia ofie. Nti your attention has been drawn. The ni nyina can leadership asema meka no. Because you see, yeah, if you say you wo efie, say ya na efie ho. Tina mu nyina na bi na mehia mu. Nti say you ofie na subambone epie free nkwada mu a yɛtena se ana yɛata yɛtutu yɛ ho fo ɛyɛ panin na tu ne nasi form na ɔka. When you have weak leadership, most of the time you get waywardness. Weak
leadership now causing all these excesses.
Sana mi huno headmaster on discipline na ne nsɛm ɛɛgoɔ no nkwadaa bi twi afa so ɛwɔ school. House mistress na n'ani ɛden paa. The house mistress and any again no actually when we school cry now yeah you man to make a idea because the discipline any how or handle no and I'm more to baby I would read. Anti sanity. Anti rebranding whatever nina goes into leadership reorganization. Any other. Anti a bad thing of the past. You make us out there. You be clear hopeful. Now a switching be a while. You remember your home intended.
But we because I am man. So what to say? I'm Abronye bill. Yamani bill.
Yeah,
on us on your program now. You advise at least there should be a ceasefire.
Oh, other the program do obey. Hey, dear, SS is the womb. What do you say? And the be obey. Nana muntu and be. Me sometimes no trust me. Me angels are. But hey, dear, with me handle emotions, emotional stability, and emotional intelligence at DBAK. You won't get it from any other person. It be expression, be a mere express anger, never full crown. One year won't say a individual traits, but as a threat and but by and large, I won't say you can't the excesses in the but the excesses in dispensation of authority and power. And there Abronye a hero. And there Upu by a hero because of excesses of power drunkenness.
Excess of power from him. From him, this is the court discipline.
Mamichiro, judicial power, and ne judge na odi atem and what Yamani query. Winning Hawa, the entire Abronye Yamani bill. It has to take a whole attorney general. Or no, old a buying lawyer to go and fight for bail for him. What's in the pennies of that?
The attorney general had to intervene in fighting for bail for an opponent, Abronye.
Exactly. What does it tell you? It tells you, say, I bet I am so naked.
Everybody is condemning the judge, yeah.
Everybody is condemning, so you make hero out of him.
No, but
you have
the hero now at buying Eden what the mark for. So if the
any pressure, and then international community, everybody is looking at, and don't forget it. 3 days. The bachelor Abronye, no actual letter international a friend said diplomatic union. Say his life is under danger. Yes, sir. Teacher mo bachelor no kwa mo de na faso no. Ma vindicating no. Mama we ase ahu say ampa de na crack na ka no. Say ne wo mu ampa.
This is done by his excesses now. Has made a hero out of Abronye.
Out of him.
International community is what we said the to organ any.
Exactly. And me honestly say it's not radio so I cast it here penini abufra. You don't have the right to do that. I don't condone. Me bufu time. Enunti, yes, of course. Wafum enunti emram fanemra, yes, sir. Mo kasa lawyer for the judge for minim say the ebanisani atimdidi ne kaskasa misdemeanor. Misdemeanor also you know how to handle it. okoye man broswa me ya na me pe comparison say we ye bi na asem asi ye me nko ne de na aba na yeka nti deal with him on those levels me interview bi or UK weekend no radio station no mo pesu mo hudie ni and I'm so for me niam abiensa minim so Abronye nye Abronye nkobo okro no onkodi ewu ana onkutu aban muye sa niam abiensa a serious criminal offense. Even that, they are all bailable.
They are bailable. Yeah, they are all bailable.
Even that, they are all bailable. So then I see. Judge be kutu animal farm why? Because you are in power. Fine, that is okay.
But
Because
okay, what will make the judge do that? Because the judge is not in power. Why? I don't know, because you keep saying because they are in power. Judge, so he's not in power until why? What will make the judge do that?
If you are okay, judgment, no crana. The judge actually stated the reason why or remanding. Stated said you will nipe biya muakodo. Na ebi ebru biso. And so what you are not intending, educodina IGP so no ye police for penny. Our bro no me no so. And no thing I want to so in that manner. For that reason.
Okay. No.
But before the law, we are equal. Obi and bro, so
that's the point. That is the point.
Yeah.
Before the law, anti judge no cry no, or a lawyer no. You have for the judge to have gone that elementary law. You call law school LLB. Before the law, we are equal. And then we'll be proved to say, until now, some say, now, why said lawyer no judge no near them, one that didn't call. IGP that didn't call. President Mahama and IGP. And IGP knows will be a didn't attempt nor didn't call. And on no to me, until no or see any say. Enti na judge no so a circuit court judge. For all you know, people are applies to a high court.
And then they can want about promotion, yeah. And
yeah, but you see, I'm not in a haste to criticize this government because the time will come, and we all know the BBI will be a so I say quiet. We are bomutu. The do now bear quiet and who says Udumini Waweni. They say Yankuntoni BBA. Enti Abronye, yes. Wafum Wadidi Akasetia Obi. Maybe I mean Penny. Who is Penny? Penny anyway. Nipa. You can pass it.
By Honorable President, your penny. Or 2 for your penny. Or 10 your penny.
But Nana,
That's the most vilified president in Ghana.
And I repeat it, and how can you?
May say,
yeah,
President, your penny. Because
still, I fed on microphone.
Oh, minimum I a microphone.
I say, what don't Sakata ho?
Sakata.
Baby, I don't Sakata.
President, a penny.
President,
IGP, a penny.
Yes.
But before the law, you're not equal. But in reality, no.
Yes.
President, if there's a gathering, he is the last person to come there.
Oh, and yeah. Don't go there.
Don't go there. President. Yes, you yourself, felony.
Don't go there.
Average person, no misdemeanor.
That's not what I'm saying.
Don't go there. Nana, don't go there. You have no substance. I mean, your argument falls flat. Your argument falls flat. Me, Oba Santimemua. Me, Oba Santimem, me, and Yama Miensa. Me, Mensia. 2-4. Na, me, Kotoko. Na me sorry, me Mensia, me MPP, me Kotoko, me Fufu. Daniel Manay. Me Mensia, 2-4. The who Castetia Bako. Mienu na minidi ya dani minidi. Onu ya china boss ye dinner tem. Ya can't ya treno.
Boy, a penny more.
Boy, a penny, and you do obi kwa say ayi Kosiemu Rebranding several times ana. Enti dampare. Ayi apietu IGP. Obi hwe nanim amanase asori hwe nanim ka chense osigamo is stupid or whatever. It's on record.
I don't remember that Manasseh in cancer.
Actually or patcho or throw ayi be patcho. Oh, the records are there. Maybe Rama. Beyond that, at 10 years, you did dampare as IGP from both left and right. MPP for Katiano, no way Katiano, no way Katreno. We've done all this. Rollins. That's the picture kum nipa Rollins ka when you know baby. Hey, before. What our president or big Kujina and him Kokatren. Yes, send the name face to face. Nobody gas name one now. President late Professor Melsa on penny once a month or Ninam the baby. It Canada pa. President Mahama, the first time at the Pabe the Enka. Akufado. Dear, which is IGP. Near see a Didi Watem and I can be better. No problem. Actually, the panel. You on the course. What's our another option? Say Ubesiu.
Yeah.
What that option? Because share power called ye call to a cheap and grassy same stay out to a band. One of the most indelible friend say man, I can't bear no. And near my dear baby position, we can be. I can't be. Mark it on the wall.
Action no, or they proceeding with Abronye case into court, abuse of power. That's how you are describing it.
Lawyer is Baka Voma.
Yeah, NDC communication team member, your friend is Hamza Suhini on a council can say, Judge, defies every logic.
Yeah.
It defies every logic.
Lawyer Martin Peb has come out to say all these things. My who said Martin Amidu actual article be on the crime download because a subject me contrade or law school. But the idea me direction and quadan. You know a good man. So but what I'm saying is yeah, you two abama a banya. Now no me catch them here MPP for. Say a two abana man you. Ghana form for Ghana Maya see any argument take and foul. CCA, NDC, activists, Nini Pepi, woman, behave as if said the Ghana Mon so many argument take and foul. Look at the Azoka Koyeno, friends, Apatia. To the extent, say a whole minority leader of parliament. Over 2 rank, Abikuno. Really? Could you? Uncle Bokrono, a batwa, a cotton, I said, Bibi,
earlier, no, not when you mark a bobiasum.
At the end, until the didn't approach you all. Yet the 5,000 police in the hall. 5,000. 50 and what's up in your market. Near Yereno. Because why money? Near Fan Fabric. It doesn't have to take one person, say, me Kwakuno. Hey,
very well.
What was
about dog? Nana, Mammy was about Galamsey. No, my dog can hear a quick response on the Galamsey because say, President, I'm stating a position. Say, a state of emergency, then you're possible. Banana, do you think you better baby? You bet me solve this Galamsey. Perhaps NDC and MPP, you know, more bilateral because I remember sometime be Papa first former MP. I'm in a country there should be a bilateral solution to it. So both NDC and MPP. Can you bet me I solve it and any possible?
Politics say rare mono nema or kind of but if you me dear say and sa enye jumano a pair jumamano. Solving Galamsey is finding jobs for the boys in those communities. Nyamende a year ago the next Ghana. Say yen to mean to ni offended. We should find a proper way of giving them some jobs or finding a proper way of say on bet me to go to say be ya galamsey to betwa. But see be yi galamsey. Said the air queen said the negana ya political party leadership. I'm not saying national. We men can say me national correction, but political party leadership. Some of these people who do that kind of job are infiltrated. They are the ones supporting party activities in some communities, constituencies, and regions. Ebi Ababe MP Spain. I can't point fingers or say this or that, but you and I know. And it's a very difficult terrain, not an easy thing to solve. It will take time. It will take politicians to say we are not politicizing it anymore. It's a national issue. Let's go and do a consultation together as a political party, two major political parties with so they will be able to solve it. And that's how solving party. It's not something I'm seeing that is going to happen today or tomorrow.
And I agree. Doc, what do you say?
Yeah.
Say a present position is a yen to me. State of emergency in the EMFA. And Nanaya Kano. Say a yen EMFA. Doc,
and then you also.
I was September moon. Hello, Doc. What Doc? You know, every
my
messages in the friends are quasi or since they recently. I mean, now comment crowd. Yeah, no crime. I mean, who said Ghana, we have lost the fight against Galamsey because they are me kind of catches and yeah, you bet me solving a net, you bet me solving a chant. The case in Malik also said that Dr. Baumia is a drunkard. And Yafako, if you must did Baumia to attempt. And Abronye Kasa, and also a one way. I was able to say or catch Roby, Obi Nadi attempt na Kosibu, so you'll be near make you point. Don't come and insult. What you saying, I and a Ghana year, you're near. Who did the attempt? I said, and I Brefo connected. So why do you know? IQ known to mean debate issue. Why IQ know form? Because IQ any form Obi can't somehow counter. But Obrani, and he said, and Dimrika echo attempt the deal. Oh, yes, happened just Obrano. The processing of information is problematic, and you need to deal with your brain. CP inspire say Mahama and a friend about me stupid on the platform. And so Mahama call for you complaining about insult, really. And Richmond Edu say I listen to you Rastas and never Adam. Or say 95% of the members no more power no. Or more crop for say or mutu galamsey no. Said they are not in the previous government or more yen sana we musu yes is here, ain't you know a problem. And Doc, Mammy Sambra on Ambusa on this galamsey issue. Say the president Mama King or say emergency in your solution. And
Martini, you September more.
Aye.
The last year September, a phrase and a Busan and I sa question here, and can answer be say now can be different.
Oh no, but me, I've always argued it
very
out.
consistent at the end of the year. Solution
my pitting, my 9 posts.
Me say
community mining, me
now
interviews. Me who say central for be cry be. I saw
for because the data me busa that.
Alana go for one na frefra we and come freeze line so na go. Omo freezing in the line omo yen is
time no last year and you busa sa question.
Omo time no as omo enya support from the media in terms of saying can say and on person omo solve a problem no. But now if say you supporting the NDC position on the matter.
If you made them in cancer, but the minimum say
okay. Yo.
Me cancer, the minimum say Ghana nyina sorry. Ghana nyina sorry. Ewo man to the point say organized labor. Man government President Akufo-Addo ultimatum 10th of August. While yet a state of emergency, no one solve Galamsey, they will halt the country.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the kind of aggression of my Ghana. But I wasn't surprised. I wasn't because I didn't yet. As I say, yes, as I say, President Mahama is on record. Also about Bemua or the AI, that's solve Galamsey within short time. Check it. We are sending there. George, a friend. communication
Sam
minister.
George.
Yes, or say a criminal, a would surpass. Now, one yet to Obama on your Pia Wonka, they have every power to stop Galamsey within weeks. It's also multiple people. A softball, a bishop, a Catholic bishop, and you one uncle.
Catholic Bishop Conference, yeah.
Now, if we are saying, second, a D. Cocoseti home, man, it's one food. A free do near you, pepe, Nantakrabon in Ghana. And now, President Mama say, state of emergency, and you should be. Hear what is happening today. And he said, you are institutionalized, Galamsey, by the instruction of the good board. When him said, back in history, near our timber marketing board.
Yeah. Or timber marketing board.
When him didn't hear good, no. When him didn't hear good timber marketing board. Yeah, the timber marketing board no buy no. And I buying a mabosiama timber contractors no mkuvidem no mkuta timber. And I de kwama no nene cotton. So and then friend timber boom. Those were the days of economic recovery program. That time not Dr. Kwesibuche na finance minister. IMF Maganeska. The EDC I will want to say you be try timber near the Piaka. And you try timber, try the koya, a cotton affair, anybody wants to know timber genesa. The quiet genesa. Debbie. It is idea, MYA. Into you, timber. Now, for any TID. Timber Industry Development Division under Forestry Commission. Who call records man? Papa be near friend C.C. Wilson. No, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Then that's a name, Ministry of Lands and Forestry. Now Dr. Kwabene J. Awenya Baby Kui, on a sector minister. Consciously, as state policy, you consciously you deplete your forest. You tell me a woman near the Aquaman and near Cotton. Fast forward. A bedroom gold. You say gold in an answer board. It's any team board. Near two gold near cotton. The ramifications. Problem no how will be anything. When himself for advocate is a cocoa about crying. What I can't tell that.
But I think when your mama press conference, so he was emphatic saying, yes, not say Omun say as you know. And you know, say Omun call Australia Kosia responsible mining.
And to move about Omu Babano mother twice. Yes, sir. Yet you say Omu call Australia and you get to. The Omu yet to. Omu call Australia and Kusiam no metro. That I don't need the best.
So now, call me when cry. No, me never quite. You can carry
on. Mama who won't tear us your galamsi to tear Miss Media.
Well, I already the apple.
Tear Miss Media.
I may say.
No clear woman say. The solution is all the crop for Australia. No Makusia. No Mabe any, yes, sir. Any a jai mom to way. No more column for any young babano. Nothing, one woman in me and abe. But see a gusso. An echo, an eba. Now, Mobile can't say a ton when you're $6 billion out of gold sales within this. And I just know America.
Yes.
$6 billion, you can away. $6 billion. Yay, as a mine. Ya koji IMF isika $3 billion for 3 years as I say I won't pass. But see the crowd IMF in this verse is getting me. It is when you say $6 billion there. Then you and you two see mobile. You two can hear mobile. You work as a car. Ya kwan you be any $6 billion in 6 months.
It's the mama solution and yes solution. Also, say bet me solve problem.
Solution be and your solution. Now the first major solution is or the Asraf or the task force for now you can flash you out. And no more shas your boy. And then the national organizer openly a caution president say on purpose are there no microphone free. And the president will tear the national organizer no and I feel open kwan fufu bi abeka kire.
Okay.
Segana ni bia ni daso. say galamsey babe called the stop and the end this year. And you're not correct.
But if you okay, say Nanado
Oh
Danko
my
before
dear,
also
oh
spoke
my,
about Galamsey.
that's what
That
I'm doing now.
he
And
lost some seats.
anything you're talking about
He
here,
lost
no.
some seats
2020
because
elections.
And
of
nothing you're passing
Kwan.
judgment. And nothing you're passing judgment here. Why you ye? Akufo-Addo abaya hunu ye, why you ye? And a wenum so on your bar or the AI, that's all. AI or the best of the share anymore or the task force boy. The party for also any task force with you with you. The next solution is what they go for Australia. Now fee why they you no
The responsible mining.
AI na way. Oba ben no AI no ni ho bio.
I can't say who opposition. Sometimes you don't get a full grasp over the case. The best solution in the case. Okay, the best thing but no say.
I mean tie. Who opposition a unya the full grapes. And no there. You can't say back Sinduma our president there and Hame. You can't say Odike no president there and Hame. And your president what do you want and what the vice president at the time.
Okay.
The time he fought the first time a president Mahama over fighting Galamsey knew. The first time he fought Galamsey and lost. And when you be owning the dynamics within the Galamsey and mining industry.
Very well.
On him said what won't cry no wabe. And that is not an excuse, cry. He's very much aware. And going forward, you know, as he established my Ghana for TSA, NTC what that Ghana for when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. Omubaye no, Oma be institutionalized no. Asisiano, Omwa through gold board cry, the man call for loan, and some kodam kutu gold and number tomai. Now, yeah, there could be beba, and no be more serious. According to source of them, Omu gold and I know Omu cotton and be 13,000 per kilogram. Gold board buy was fixed the price at 8,000. It also there is a quiet distrust,
Smuggling,
mistrust, market constriction. I team Grofonsa. Adi Omu, what is due them? I know so much beba. But me my catch a buy we. Ya memoir, Nanka Neniso Adi who president, Emrem, Nagana for you and your factor. The Ekikakwi, say I'm changing near Munya Mempaye. Na yare boni bi to say COVID and any nua and ana kunta bi be serious de bi kagana. We all perish. We all perish because Abanya has no clue. Huh? Abani ni clue oni the left and right oni mhwe no mo ba economic policy be no mo dia. Just name one. 24-hour economy, it is hanging like to say balloon be.
Oh, that no one about port because was started 24-hour economy.
I did some now okay.
And the port, I mean, brother, yeah, port or committee, no more, you know. Cocoa,
yeah. Or port we are 24-hour economy because are buying revenue shortfall of 30%. Are buying here ska. Are buying airport now. Why did you say Sikano? We are talking about productivity.
Yeah, no, productivity. The fact that they can clear cargo within 24 hours and productivity. Doc, internet. Because I feel like my brother with multinationals into a committee now, almost because almost foreign companies. Into almost shipping here, man. Into guys, 24 hours. I'm there. The bunch of bone,
what did you see?
24-hour port and productivity.
The manufacturing, yeah, yeah. What drives economy? What creates wealth?
Okay.
And distribute wealth.
Okay.
What you say? Because tomato factory. Now what 3 streams? Now we here, group we here, group we here. You are creating wealth, productivity. Sikeba, nipe nyam kwanko, now go back. Catch say discotheque in 24-hour economy. Discotheque in any Ghana, 24-hour economy. Catch say a juma ba in existence. Nipa ba ko ejuma no. Ni bitwa nipa 3 Enti me na me kan say anka afa EPA. Take am here CEO EPA and come call one shift na another CEO about second shift. Na another CEO about third shift. That is what they make people understood. That's the way of creating job to them. And the whole thing hinges on productivity. Your manufacturing, your raw materials, they call your cotton near the day. And the inception of the 1D, 1F. And anka itimi jina so as or mining, itimi ye in the buy in the war, the factories, and a year boama factories in a cut 2 streams are. Then we are good to go. A coffee juice.
Yeah.
Before said, I buy beba now a coffee juice. Year 2 streams already. Yes, say yeah. Near walk Kumasi near the LL timber firms at Kumasi Brewery near. No, we had 3 streams. They were producing. Sorry, rhetoric, and then Matthew has the passport office, you 24-hour economy. Really? Really? What are you talking about?
And they are not doing 24 hours.
Now, I didn't know online. Into an idea, me tini fee. Let me an idea, me call online, na me application. So, what different is
No,
it?
na buye we obi na be print.
Obi be print anopa, me call no print ya to one mafa.
Nti anadwi just obi any one print anadwi.
One idea where ni pay mu kra ye workers ni be kra ye pamu e be best. Now you have 24-hour economy. Now you work as a no. Because you want to create jobs.
Okay.
But to say NDC big funny page, this way you be a din or the be up with him. That is what's happening.
Me, baby, I mean, no, yeah, Janice. I think that one of the things that I had even suggested it NDC also on come for 1D, 1F. No, now I'm incorporating into a 24-hour economy. No, because it starts afresh. Anything could be a foundation amount to complete the factories. Because me, I won't make them factories.
Baku, no mean 24-hour, 24-hour. Yes, sir. Anna, I feel the Adeno Crown say, a demand driven. CCA is why a factory. Anna, we are in me, I'm with the butchery factory. Now, you're in cry out temple. Now, who orders, be war, Ivory Coast, be war, more manufacture, which means supply in any. And no, not ever come out and say, any, another stream on cover, production stream. It will be a crana still, ultimate supply, we say any third stream on cover.
Okay.
So it is being driven. You are inspired by demand and profitability. Now, I'm not trouble. Now, what trouble you a mobile 5 o'clock credit for inside. Obebra sana ya betamasa. What's on your 24-hour economy now? One other
demand the ben, drive.
Demand the ben.
I agree with you.
You say, I back to my high street in the discourse in Cheho. Now, much you could see and Chibo. Oh, we have 24 hours. Because truck driver and image for no point. Point bear 10. I saw beer, Yachibum command again. So, who's a tiny driver and get to car front or the Chibu Mama. So, no, but many years, 2 hours, 3 hours, I can't want. And because the demand is there. And yeah, no keke. And yeah, they can service delivery.
Very well.
Service delivery.
Very well.
To see about Juma Muye. About it.
Service delivery, about 10. Service now near render no, yeah.
That's the point. And you'll be policy in now here with you. The 24-hour policy in now you. Your service is needed. If you are being driven by the passion to deliver.
It's almost like the mama should focus on the demand that will drive the 24-hour. No, that's okay.
So.
Very well. Very well. Very well. Well, perhaps anything or the in California, Australia, because in California, you might Nesika a form one. that also creates some kind of demand.
Yeah, my mema technical kakra. Normally I discussing here na me person me classroom. But you wadi bi the friend no that disease.
Your friend is
And
saying
you that disease that and you resource case. The wife here we are seeing na countries endowed with natural resources. Na here wo pa. E also na conflict wo pa.
DR Congo.
Yeah. Countries all natural resources. Ne fare ba na later and no resource allocation who gets hot. And until something sets in, the friend the tragedy of the common. Idea knew be idea. That's disease stress. We are on my own now running economy. Now running economy. Now do when you see a particular resource amount castle. Now to the detriment of all others. The bedroom peppers will be no. Now resource either say asa. And now or how I prepare about the problems about now the Kenyan what to around. This year, because of from 8 months in me, cocoa production will be found an income.
Cocoa production they started sinking from what time? No.
Minim sir, oh, I'm telling you,
yeah.
Minim. And to say I think more because you need the gold to achieve. Gold no so seven minimum. You to be was through. You couldn't form. And a lateral. And gold need yes, say cocoa farms in that. Nti cocoa no sika e maye no e bedu ba bibile e maye bio nti na me catch
I can say cocoa na better number 2 oh you do almost because first cocoa used to give us money.
Yeah. Na me pa na timba na maye number 1.
Oh,
Ana that's the seed. That's the seed timber mu. Enu ti na me egu tim board no. Timber marketing board. Go ene eduru gold. Ye bibia ye rare ni bibia she gold. But we should not forget, we do not control world affairs.
Yeah.
Occasional world debate me decide this a gold to be. Where would we be as a mind? And always there is the need to diversify the economy.
Yeah.
You don't put all your eggs in one basket. And he said, yet to see the danger is you be a really near BPS gold. And you will be attention will go. And to suffer be to gold. The training be to lawyer or Kotina gold. Yeah, auntie, anybody who's near you. You started to be perfect. What you say? That is where the danger lies. But the question, you better go to the question is, presidency at $6 billion. No way.
Okay, very well. That's a very good question. But Doc, I'm say you better to us. But I know I want a quick one. Say what priority ben because the Kokofu can't just say I say we are 40 in the priorities no.
Well, I think
a quick one on the president press conference, the media encounter. No? Do you think that President Mahama's Excellency was focusing on a priority? That do you see his priority? Do you see that Obetimi Amayeng? Promises for failure there, but at least one flagship campaign message at President Mahama by a 24-hour economy. No? Do you see that the encounter any Obetimi Amaya realize it by the end of the 4 year Nana?
I would not be able to judge that now. But what I can say is say you and I know we started a year port and that there's a 24-hour economy happening in port. But mean at the moment
they are not started. It's not full stream.
But for me, for me, for that policy at that time, I had my own idea, and I said, "I'm misgivings, kakra, because there's no way you can practice 24-hour economy on sector biya."
Okay, yeah.
As Honorable is saying, it's demand driven. One thing America is also suffering from trade issues here and they manufacturing in now China. And he's trying to get his manufacturers back into America. And all the impose taxes near the Sebea, a twakas yakas, yes, you idea. Sebea, what umu could be able now they buy a board in the America Hanwa Baba answer. to me idea. So almost every country is having its own share of this trying to do manufacturing in their own various countries. But I will not be able to judge whether it is a full-scale thing that he'll be able to do. To be honest, MPP campaign message on the buy, one district, one factory was very good. It's something that was geared towards getting jobs for the youth. Any idea? Some started, but Oman to me, and you cannot take 4 years to implement almost everything. And this thing is not government driven. It cannot be done by government as one district, one factory, two is. And to me, now by say me could be a factory, I may be a factory, possible. Individuals, Ghana for me buy into the vision and say that, okay, if there's any incentive, which I don't know about it now, what I know is almost say, or metal electricity. So how they will do it, I don't know. Because they've not given a proper explanation to how they will be able to reduce your electricity bill in the evening. But if the businessman buys into that and decides to say, okay, I'll be able to do this, I don't know, it also hinges on security. And I joke because filling stations were working in the night. What happened no mutumu because security wise nenye Crawford na asa Crawford to show so now since we also mobile phone or use mobile mobile money no kwan ye kunkumomo ni na dwells on security. So if those areas are checked very well, people will be interested in going this 24-hour economy in some sectors. I don't believe all will be able to do 24-hour economy. If they are able to manage that well, they will be able to do something. But to give everybody employment, even here in America, it's not happening. So it will not happen in Ghana.
Ghana, you. Nana ya mama message me. I say to not happen. Some bring jobs. That they catch them.
Mankasa I want
Oh, but something to not happen. Okay. Anna. Okay. Because minimum promise was to get them jobs.
But you cannot employ everybody. You know that
Through
in 4 years.
Through the 24-hour economy. If you are the Atiani say, Akufo-Addo first government, first 8 months in government, none a flagship project or this scene and you should not implement. The government 2017. Within first year, no implemented. We nature will be able to say, me can say me way. Whether I say you good, say you good, no I implement. Implementing fully. And then other things followed. 80 media. Makase, I'm not too quick to criticize this government and pass judgment because my opinion here, from my ideas be a correction. So many until me can na mrepemuno. You will put pen and paper down. You will set the record straight. You will bring out the lies, the propaganda, the deceit, deception that was told to Ghanaians. And I'm so Ghana for Bufu MPP, I agree. Because we had a mandate. Your mandate now so any. But for your opponent, paint a picture as if say, your angels, no body can do all and fix all. Now be drop them in 8 months. Now otre foul. Now LGBT where you any said they be cry one can one shader. I'm say we see a the crowd AI don't put person boss. A state of emergency which is no crying here. Then 24-hour economy we say good for them no memo wadwene mechire de oye then be just say nothing we say dollar CD dollar was stabilize a bafom near I pay you hu ya say artificial wow na portra akụkọ umma na aduane no huhuru ye kakraka ase de a oni amakrom akụkọ nam ho nya pewu wo mu ye nkwa wi a na hu difference wo
Yo.
so
Yo, doc.
ya akụkọ when him contract see akụkọ bi na pe
Yeah. Akụkọ gonja.
now did you akụkọ me nya portra akụkọ yo furu no What the idea? Enti
You better was next week. You better was
Matia Blue, I ma.
that's baby.
The Mazbanaya.
Incoming general secretary of MPP. Into more executive amutumi to abano. Or no, no, so okuta blueprint to rebrand MPP because on one idea to said Nana Brefo suggested MPP needs rebranding. Also obey SI Edumano. And yes, idea 2028.
Nana, one can go to America.
We're do America. We're do America.
Nana, oh,
What me?
my man can buy my dear cat Trump or I give him himself. Come on.
Nana, that's baby. Meta we outside. In fact, move follow Nana our TikTok so and we'll be continuing some of these conversations, especially the FI youth no our TikTok into move follow the account no. Nana
Brefo dance.
But move follow account. We will do more of the discussions on TikTok. I know you're flexible. How you be an names software and know the Encore radio, so but we they were live on all the radio stations. Nana, I go on shout.
All right.
Yeah, that's it, baby. Oh, personal better will respond to call us number now. What I remember, good evening, Akaba.
Good evening,
Just saying. Yeah, here now say.
Nyamiado, yeah. I'm say Oma Bro Subiana. Like I always say, when it comes to NDC governance here, very dicey. Just yeah, almost no, but look at it from the tenure and I said days almost as compared to 8 years. No, it's very difficult to criticize them now. It was a disaster. Allow them to work. And Honorable Kokofun Rifle said, Akufado Abanye ni e don't think ye tuti arumane koye. It somebody who came in from January 7th no swear in. And then it was September. They only spent like 8 months. Within the frame of 8 months, allow them to at least sustain and almost best selling. And I said, gradually, it's like a steps. Almost. Yeah. The only legit question I agree with him, the way Sam George or blow the horns too much, and LGBTQ are semi offer the World Cup. But it looks like he's been silenced on that now.
The purpose why DSTV no watching.
And they say well, yeah, no the DSTV.
It's a no.
So what I said, no, dear, you have a legitimate criticism over there. Let's allow NDC to at least over started can same way be almost first 2 years. And you will be able to be a better say, listen. Say this in Amuka, Ghana for idea who in the world thought that Mama can come back to power again? All because of any MPP anyen ye. Now Mama Bedan is a hero. Right? Because your share baby or mobeji abine free in some not dollar walk and where you took dollar to. Now you can say, hey, made that day somewhere why I mean no more because who say dollar or Japanas or Bana they do times 3 and times 4. A disaster. That is why Ghanaian voted NPP outside. Almost for less yes, you are better down. But now here is the case happening almost back from where they took the country from. No, that country is in the ditch. Allow do surface and I said almost started saying no so they are then we can start attacking them. When it comes to Galam say I try not to get myself involved, caught up with it. Allow them. They have a whole 4 years, almost 3 and almost 8 months. I come 3 years and some months, about 4 months to go, which is more than what.
On that score, what do you think about Abronye? Because meaning some more, and I know how crack can I say. Abronye de na ya mo na mo Canada Japan camp mo na mo ya ne target na say or the Afra President Mama, do you agree to the bill no? And what would you say about it?
Abronye de me kana sem ewia se me mo obi bu a me so me mejo. Abronye went through a script. Dr. Kokofu can say it's very good. It all starts from leadership. Say, oh, about fear, if you are not or ya collabon, the same now to meet Tiana. Onino Danny am robber. So what I say, Ebi, I would not collab if you are no be there, but Nana Fia Cotoy. Obaba Muababu Meba. Oba, is as all betting about no watching national why I say, hey, yes, I do not men are not broad the Duku. Duku Mua higher or the child. Eh, yes, sir. Akolani nyansa be no besuya wo. It at the end of the day no pampawa na wo say ya. O de bafie. Ene ye we say Sunday 4 be o mu be o say den de ye kan won tie do kwa ante ade o say den de. O di atema chabo Kennedy. Femo kan me timi repeat. O wie ye Kennedy miana no control the temper. Genetistic say ye ka say wa kata obi adanse say this is not the Kennedy you know before. Ene kanena kawa wani tu ya nebesi. But or say open unity or party no. Is it paid mouth and let Abronye do what he has to do? One fee no, if you want to TC as of also. Can 90 minutes TC as of no so kaya, also for be or can sema. If you are physically be omuawo, Sabita Frache, a binum crab Bible, but only near me was here. May they say, Bible I do not touch my anointed one. Is an go by that principle. The fact so crazy me Bible yeah juma ojina obo Yesu din there. Oh yeah, nyame juma no yeah whether oh yeah whatever he's doing all I see in my face there. Oh yeah so for Abronye was able to clarify all the two oh yeah I'm Robert wako bon crofo two na. Yeah, a whole lot of problem. Obi papa, obi ma ekunu, obi offer. You embarrass him in public. Or no, I did got anointing or you go for me born in Paya Sufred in Yankopon or someone. Say, Radini man. If you want baby, I don't go to see. And
I have Brefo crack and say, Papa no, Archbishop do abon and then Abronye no.
Well, did a miniani, Nana there, but I'm just saying, say, and you may be what wouldn't mean yam coupon a pamon in yame. Okay, somebody to the extent say. I think one of these American presidents, they invited him to come and do press. Right.
Yeah, Trump.
You know, say, or he will be here. How many pastors and friends? Akukudam, Jiwe, Austin, he bypassed all of them to go and call Dr. William. That means what we do. As so far as what happened, seriously. For bit is Abronye to come to national TV and my YouTube creating a platform now. They also there at MDDR. Hey, you can be our and or they could see IGP say, hey, this thing has to stop. It may be, I don't think that they mean to somebody number 2J now, but it's a strategy to shut him down. And I said to shut his mouth up. No judge didn't know yet. Na ye koye nim no as MPP no moma yem build a party no ne ye honya akono niema bi say no we have one say Ghanaians are waiting for government strong opposition party in waiting. So what I say obi ti abamu no Ghana for so share the next government ebeba no yes some ye strong and united ne omuhu policies ne mbetimi aye say na Europe kan Japan na mo okan that say me tie ne campaign okwa o say it's all about job. For the first time, me say, I've earned more respect for Ken. They say, and near more kind of say, because we've been exposed to some of the things his campaign and I say, oh, can it makes it sound say yes, he know what he's talking about. And all council of children, no, we are no my references. Me call Crows, me call who are dear way, me call India, me call sugar cane. I read the cry, they are generating electricity. What are we doing as a country? I will bring the engineers, technicians. They can come and help us with that. My independence since 1957. If you have to know, yeah, that's what do light there. It's sad. It's very, very sad. We need pragmatic leader. Somebody or yeah, and you be theory. Ghana frontiers, yes, I might say.
Over there, I train. Maybe some question be about Ken there. No, na black question Kasansa because Ken he's talking to delegates. Into Okasa and Messi factory. Is this a conversation for delegates?
Oh, I feel yes.
Oh, we are not going to catch a masses. No.
It's a conversation.
So when I answer that question, my black question Kasan because until I'm better trainer. Black question Patron, I'm too.
Stefia, good evening.
Good evening.
But what minka?
Patron.
Okay. Ofajari Michao.
Major Superzi.
Stefia, I'm say and somebody somebody cabo boning in house. But me the be as mammy back our platform we say so back say the party no we've lost our identity. Okay, so Omobi school no me catch you say Omo a kuku party nesi omoko no. They need to enroll also my first batch of the school. Omukosia the doctrines of the New Patriotic Party because I think say we've lost our way. People like Ghanaians do not know us for this kind of enyoma el kosono. The assistant cry. And on the second one also no. The issue on Galamsey no, Stefia. Say unko mini Ghana there, but me follow stories el koso Ghana pa, and I have people in Ghana Tembia minimum kasa. It's getting worse day by day. And the turbidity level of the water is getting worse day by day. And you know, NDC, like Abronye by it's barely 9 months and it's too early. So we should have some time for them. And that notwithstanding, no, the entire month of also Kasaye, what they said whilst they were in opposition. And then I talk of Otima, a month of also after also Ebusa questions.
And then I make us say, go for refi NDC in 2020 kasa omo bombe jegum 2024 and omo kasa pedem Akufo-Addo declare state of the emergency, so they've not really changed their position. Yeah, na ya dey so
yeah. Sending a campaign strategy. A campaign strategy. Because I quite remember say omo communicate about, I think was it Koku something 2020 no or Kokai Okokan Sembi H minus and Galamsey for Nibi. Say Omonko for a Juma, mobile, Mosumba, my Juma, and a whole lot. You know, I think say it should be a collective effort and your monk because omo like Omokano, almost all be Omonko for so ye. Omonko for so ye. Into we move free or now more bansono, almost over replace it. So how do you fight the canker? Yes, I will be about the same thing now because we shouldn't politicize this. It's very dangerous because in your collective effort, bilateral, effort, both the political parties, big ones in Ghana, among far more experts on this, forest and lands and stuff. Because it has come to stay and it's not going.
If you do support the mama can say about track IP address near the
oh, IP address in the Stefia. Mr. Mimiti United Kingdom was saying, Mekoki can be a Mitibifia and above Mwami. Ninano, but a caution, and carefulness. Unim say Okasama political party be devoid of your political stance, no. Insult is not the way to go. May mean Nakache say, Ediania Udu Fiano. Ediania young farmer of Fiano, Oka Bontia, men could meaning some Wofina mean to me to be film paying for Atama. Anna Makwa went to Makoka City Obi. And no dear, and yet the best, And one thing I am finding difficult say, Ubet me criticize constructively on issues, be analytical on issues, that can widen on issues, but what they did at Tembama. Now I say, con personal, can nipano, can and somebody they go nipan fee. That's not the way to go. They say in youth no more Ghana. No, I think say gradually they are all creeping into politics, and you need to carry yourself well because and someone back can you don't know what might happen tomorrow. Maybe I my position over converting now. What you said previous years no. Yes, I echo the better say unaki can same way anywhere. It's no good. It's no good. And what I'm calling for is say Obey wadia, you are devoid of insults. Penny a penny, regardless of your position. Penny a penny, and Cassentia penny. And no cries no, and no quine idea, all Bible mukrampa, and come like I'm your boss as I walk. Do not know where Jenny. See, Obana, one casa biological parents, now ube the atema. And you're nice. And you're nice. Stay for my make us back. Offer Jerry.
Yes.
Bepacho, me UK has a the team the better than my account because I think that
I can
the other time I think that the other time now because me no get in contact now. I mean who how best I can also contribute.
Send me message or I feel message or a private inbox or the number of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Private chat or no sending.
They were a chat here. They were a chat here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back baby, why actual private chat? One.
Hey, there be.
Any comments? No private chats.
Who say about could be like mute you no baby I send a message.
I want to making.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Send me number. Oh, send me
number. Stefia, the air can and say, Madam Lucy, the air can and say, over the years, no, your home penny form of a department, the Hudo more or mobit me. I may I never acquire. I think that this is not the last time I make our Stefia. I don't understand, say, all those who were in government then in the previous administration, no, appointees, ministers, MP, I don't know, like, I'm more tilted. We say, over research, we call something skewing. There is a skewing. I don't know enough fever then now, but in natural sense, no, research doesn't like it doesn't supposed to be that. Do your genuine work. Findings, outcomes, you take it as if genuine data, any genuine responses are free. Baby, I organize we collect data no, and neighbor. When you try to skew, I say I don't know, one cause only baby ever kwakusi, who skew in your favor. It shouldn't happen that way. Okay. I've been preaching this. Because what are their interests? Interest power more champion yes, I'm fine.
Why in respect of which matter?
In our party, in relation to
yes.
Yes, almost skew. And I find it very difficult to understand. And just say me support on our book and I like me kasa, but I think it's long overdue. Munjai.
Okay.
Say any pana modern ban or no momo pa. Have you thought of the grassroots people? MP Bako, I think say na oyeba umia Gideon Boakon. Or no about umia ho. But the constituency secretary. That's so about one thing say. Delegates no so ken like in that instance no. Yes, in that instance no. About me camp no. Obet me for so roll on your delegates. It's not going to happen that way. They should leave everything. Baby will be a pepiano and power. And yet yes, I be trying error there. Ye penny will bet me with power. My power we are there piano. We can take it from there. They should stop that. Thank you.
The back with him, I mean, I say, what I busa about my campaign, no, and say, message now can they is that the message, proper message to delegates to make critics?
Yes, a good message to the delegates because if you let me look at it from this angle. Sikaji and Crawford GG delegates, ye koto abane be a common 200, 300 in an you here. Nevi as Sika new botoma, obi a common deal. No bro one city crana, you value that money. But so where Juma ye, I would that payroll so I didn't say Busumi Biano at least Unya Okakrawa. Untraum will be in fact just 200 cities and metowajene. It Ken is saying to them, say, Sardini na muma me akwenya na motoma me na me ba. Make create a Juma. More na meden, ubia me make sure say. About 90% will be a benye juma. Of course, or any point me mad the whole gun will be a juma. But better than that, or minus one, or better timbe half or more than half. The next government of Bebane Betuan ye can a year so. A best square. Now, if you book a Ghana, ye crabbe, ye will be entrant. That's the message or the crowd say. My message to you, delegates, say, I'm coming to create job for you, your family, and your next generation to come. And Kwame Nkrumah, EBBA, in Ghana. Basically, we are still enjoying. Some of them are angry, that's all, and then we are benefiting from it. It's up to and Pennyful leaders say renovating now, upgrading and I am modern because machines need to say they have to change it. But buying the bar, no more bomania guso. Can he say I will revive all these old companies? Says yeah, Kasamu only of a kukufumu companies be brezo. Sir, a timber body. I quite remember Papa Mota. Yeah, what timber board. Na oko Accra ubinim utra and crancheti you may know far dobrochi the near Otima market. Na schools be where to akwe master ayalolo of mako echo calling no sa.
Yeah.
Na timber when you na Tima market.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oma guning na the same time Rollins say o man say enyema bebrewa ya shane haya ma say Denta near what Kingsway. Where is Kingsway? Near what Glamour, near what UTC.
See, I know that can priority. You know, can't delegates. No.
Thank you.
Okay, very well.
Delegates, you know, he's
very
telling themselves, when I can, me back, I will create job, and on Kanekeke. If there's so many plans in the wouldn't transfer one-on-one now, and some of them can you'll be shocked.
Okay, very well. What I ever pick it can be on the presidential, you know, in fact. And I can also about Abronye bail conditions. No, almost satisfying. No. Like it did last week. Into Mamma Nawasi.
Miss Medas.
Poku, a leading campaign team member, Ken, you or I could send on a number no UK for no person join Ken team no. In Tiabusa, my name send baby course no, and my baby said there was a and baby soon him technology. I say a better so, and I have better so TikTok. No, you don't need any link to join a way there. Just saw the link. Now I join a conversation. But I mean, you're live on OK 101.7 FMT. Wow, Bianso radio here. That's why we on NASFA radio. Thank you. We or High Life Radio or DMV. Yeah, that's it. Kings Jersey Radio. We or New Jersey. I want to see that's Papa Migacho FM. Ewo kukure to me to or one of my that's and I would or Europe via Adafopa Media. So I thank you so much. Now go on next week. You better also with another big conversation about Ghana and a Ghana year we must go beyond the politics. And it's in the MPP. The politics will always be there, but let's look beyond the politics. Yes, I know your mind and yes, no. Yes, no, so yeah, baby, a doc no quite. If I'm a Vim Lady in Patcho, thank you so much. Good night.